Leanie wakes up, brushes off the sleep, fumbling for her bagel, this routine to keep. Cigarette smolders by her coffee pot. Mornings ain't easy, but it's all she's got. She's got a wild chat, hosted by Maggie. Crazy comments flying and lines go zigzaggy. Leanie takes a breath, bites her breakfast round. Gonna need her fuel when the crazies come round. Oh, Leanie's on the screen, trying not to scream. Maggie's holding down this wild, wild dream. Bagel in her hand, coffee by her side. She's ready for the madness, with Maggie as her guide. The chat explodes with every single ding. Leanie's got her caffeine, she can handle anything. Maggie reads the messages, keeping things in line. Leanie laughs it off, says, "Folks, you're doing fine." Oh, Leanie's on the screen, trying not to scream. Maggie's holding down this wild, wild dream. Bagel in her hand, coffee by her side. She's ready for the madness, with Maggie as a guide. Town, every morning's a game. Leanie plays a host while Maggie calls her names. From the backwards of her room to the front lines of the screen, life is but a show in this crazy online scene. Oh, Leanie's on the screen, trying not to scream. Maggie's holding down this wild, wild dream. Bagel in her hand, coffee by her side. She's ready for the madness, with Maggie as her guide. Maggie as a guide. In this virtual town, every morning's a game. Leanie plays a host while Maggie calls their names. From the backwoods of her room to the front lines of the screen, life is but a show in this crazy online scene. Oh, Leanie's on the screen, trying not to scream. Maggie's holding down this wild, wild dream. Maggie as her guide.
She started off observing. She kept to herself her wording. She saw the need for a friend indeed to all of those deserving. She travels the world through your eyes. She listens and sometimes cries. She wants to know what makes you whole and cares without disguise. According to Leanie, she welcomes you here. A laugh, a song, sometimes a tear. A friend, a foe, a stranger. Your life story, your moments of glory. You're sad, you're happy, your dreams and your worries. She wants to know the ins and outs of all of you here. According to Leanie, according to Leanie, she welcomes you here. A laugh, a song, sometimes a tear. A friend, a foe, a stranger. Your life story, your moments of glory. You're sad, you're happy, your dreams and your worry. She wants to know the ins and outs of all of you here. According to Leanie, she wants to know what it is all about. According to Leanie, you're welcome here where we all just figure life out. So sit back and yak, smile and laugh, have a couple or two. Leanie is coming on right now and she welcomes you. Let's hear life according to Leanie.
Hello. I'm out of breath. I'm running around trying to grab my coffee and grab me. I just finished eating some grapes, y'all, and it was so good. Not kidding. I was like, damn it, the song's over. So I spilled a little bit of coffee on the ground. No problem. We'll clean that up later. Nobody's worried about that coffee when there's all this other stuff around that my babies in here just tore up today. But it's not as bad as they can do, only because I didn't give them a box today. So that I don't have to clean up. How's everybody? Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it. Oh my goodness, I appreciate you so much. You have no idea. No idea. Hello, 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 Shag. Good to see you. Erica's here. NJD's in the house. Our matriarch, Miss Barbara Smith, is here. So good to see you. I hope you're well. Melly Joe. Melly Joe. I gotta learn to say it like Maggie does. Did I miss it? April's here. Hello, April. Wild Angel's here. Sunshine, hello. My 15-year-old fur baby woke me up. He's not feeling good, so I checked to see if you were on. Thank you so much, and big hugs to your baby. I hope he gets to feeling, or she gets to feeling better really soon. That's tough. It's just like your kids. When their kids are sick, mamas get up. We just take care of our babies. That's what we do. I need to lock the door. I just want you to know, Shag, I did lock the door right before I came on. Because I knew you were going to fuss at me for it. So I was like, I'm just gonna lock that door because Shag is not going to shut the hell up until I do. Hello, Digital Maniac. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. Listen, some new stuff came out. You probably already know about it because I go on late and you probably already know about it, but I want to break it down. I want to talk about it. I want to know what you guys think. Cooey to Lulu over there in Australia. My Australian friends. Listen, I don't know what you guys think. We're just going to have to jump into it and have a discussion, I think, because I don't want to tell you guys right now. I did watch the new video that came out from Savannah Guthrie, and I had a little bit of a different feeling with this one. I think each one that comes out, I feel a little bit different. And I want to know what you guys thought about it. So we're going to watch it. We're probably going to watch it a couple times. I've got 3 tabs opened up, guys. We're going to talk about the money. You know, we've been saying all along, most of us in here been screaming, put $1 million out, put $1 million out. Well, they finally did. And that's good to know. Listen, I think that's what's going to get people to talk, because if you're throwing $100,000 or $200,000 at us, I mean, that's not even buying us a house, you know? So after what the taxes that's going to get dropped from it, and then whatever else is going to come out of it, you know, I mean, $1 million says, if someone says $1 million to me, shit, I'd give half to the IRS. I'd just be happy to have, you know, my house paid off. That'd be nice. And the car paid off. That'd be nice. And get me another golden retriever. That'd be really, really nice. So I think the million's gonna speak, y'all. I think the million is gonna speak. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. I hope you guys had a great day today. For those that have not been to sleep yet, those that have woke up, I hope you have a great day ahead of you. And let's get into this. Let's just get in right away. I got a couple things to bring up for you. I'm so happy you're here. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up for me. That's all I ever ask anybody to ever do for me. If you just hit the thumbs up, I believe that the right people who are right for this channel and would love to participate. I just believe by a thumbs up, they'll find us. They'll find us. I built it. We built it together, and the right people will come. So I don't think I need to say anything else other than, you know, please hit the thumbs up so other people can find us that want to hang out and be here and maybe need us. I know I needed you guys. All right. So we're just going to jump right in. The first thing, of course, that we're going to watch is the new video that came out. I think that is the big thing. right now. Maybe it'll lead into the other things that, uh, thank you so much, Eric. I appreciate people that do that. I really do. It really means a lot to me. I'd rather, I'm just going to say that's the most important thing to me is that someone hit the like. I used to say hit the thumbs up, the thumbs down, because it really don't matter. It lets the algorithm know. But instead of doing that, I would just like to say I'd like to get 100 likes every time we go live because um, then maybe people will see something and say, hey, what's that about? What are they doing over there? Why are people hanging out in that chat? Let's go. All right, let's pull this up. Let's watch the new why do I keep doing that? Let's watch the new video that Savannah released today on her Instagram. Let me figure out which one of these it is. Is it this one? Yes. Okay. When you got tabs opened up, you guys, you have to figure out which one it's not. Okay, this one's it. Okay. Like I said, y'all may have already seen this already, but I think it's important to watch again. And this won't be the only time we see it tonight because the other tabs that I have pulled up will talk about this as well. So make sure you watch your ears, y'all. Y'all watch your ears. I cannot control your volume. So watch your ears. Let me make this bigger. And I want to make sure that yeah. So this we're going to watch on normal playback, but the other stuff that we have, we could watch a little bit faster. So it goes by a little bit faster. All right, watch your ears, guys. This our source is coming out of NBC News, obviously the Today Show. We know that Huda, however y'all pronounce her name, she's back. She had gone into retirement. She came back after Savannah had to take a leave of absence. We have heard that Savannah said she wasn't going back. I haven't found anything that's got that in concrete yet, so I'm just going to leave it there. But here we go. Let's watch this.
Now in its 24th day, authorities are following new tips as the investigation moves forward.
And just moments ago, Savannah posted a new statement on social media revealing the Guthrie family is now offering a $1 million reward in the case of their missing mother. We want to play that for you now.
Hey, Lego Mike, good to see you. Thank you for coming in.
Hi there. Coming on to say it is day 24 since our mom was taken in the dark of night from her bed. And every hour and minute and second and every long night has been agony since then of worrying about her and fearing for her and aching for her. And most of all, just missing her, just missing her.
Hi, Mike Yum.
We know that millions of you have been praying. So many people have been praying of every faith and no faith at all, praying for her return. And we feel those prayers. Please keep praying without ceasing. We still believe. We still believe in a miracle. We still believe that she can come home. Hope against hope. As my sister says, we are blowing on the embers of hope. We also know that she may be lost. She may already be gone. She may have already gone home to the Lord that she loves and is dancing in heaven with her mom and her dad and with her beloved brother Pierce and with our daddy. And if this is what is to be, then we will accept it. But we need to know where she is. We need her to come home. For that reason, we are offering a family reward of up to $1 million for any information that leads us to her recovery. All of the information about this reward and the details is in the caption below. You can call the 1-800-TIP line. You can be anonymous if you want. Someone out there knows something that can bring her home. Somebody knows. And we are begging you to please come forward now. We also know that we are not alone in our loss. We know there are millions of families that have suffered with this kind of uncertainty. And for that reason today, we also are donating $500,000 to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children for their work in helping families who are coping with loss and actively looking for those who are lost. We are hoping that the attention that has been given to our mom and our family will extend to all the families like ours who are in need and need prayers and need support. So please, if you hear this message, if you've been waiting and you haven't been sure, let this be your sign to please come forward, tell what you know, and help us bring our beloved mom home so that we can either celebrate a glorious, miraculous homecoming or celebrate the beautiful, brave, and courageous and noble life that she has lived. Please be the light in the dark. Thank you.
All right, y'all, I'm going to stop it right there. First, I want to say, Mike, I'm sure they've already gotten rid of you, and I'm so glad. The saddest thing is, you guys come in here with the bullshit like Mike M just said, and it's not the first time he's been in here. I've never seen him say something derogatory. You don't realize there's some really good people here. So it boggles my mind that somebody would just come in and say something stupid without getting to know anybody. Now, what I'm presenting, you can talk about that all you want to. That's fine. That's up for discussion. But don't come in here trashing and saying just rude shit like that. I mean, what do you want? Go somewhere else. And God bless you too. Let me just say that. Hi, Tashi. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Cap, hello. Let me see. I did see somebody else. I thought that. Oh, Dog Pal 69. Hello. You guys, I want to break this down. I want to re-listen to it again. Like I said, there's going to be a couple times that we're going to listen to it because the other tabs that I have open are going to talk about it and show it. But the one thing that gripped my heart that she said that actually I felt like I don't even know how to like find a common ground with Savannah Guthrie, right? Our worlds are two totally different things. Hi, Charles Tucker. Hi. Our worlds are two different things. She's got money. I'm an average Joe that's blessed. I've never, thank God, had anybody that came up missing that is close to me. So it's hard for me to, all I can do is have some compassion and pray. That's all I can do because I can't relate to any of this at all, right? But when she said that they're holding on to hope or the embers of what is left of the hope, y'all, that grabbed me the first time I heard it because I thought, oh my God, something I can finally relate to her with, because I think most of us, if not all of us, have endured something in our lives where we actually just had the embers left, not even the fire going of hope. It was the embers. And sometimes hope was lost and sometimes it turned out really, really good. But when she said that in here, that was the first one I was like, okay, I get that feeling. I get it. Because we've all been there, right? In whatever situation you're living in or have lived through. Thank God we have all survived one way or the other, 100% of our bad days. Missing remote says, blessed, I don't have to work anymore. All right, so I want to break this down and talk just a little bit more of it, and then we can go on to other stuff. One thing I did notice, this, I didn't look at the last ones that she did, but this one to me seems longer. And I don't know if you guys can if you're sitting there watching on your iPad or your phones or whatever. I watched it on the big screen so I could see her face completely clearly. I see a different look, maybe. I mean, same face, different look. I feel like for the first time, I know who she's talking to. The last couple ones she's done, I'm like, who the hell is she talking to us? Or is she talking to the kidnappers or the murderers? Or is she talking to mom? Like, who the hell? Who? This one, I feel it. I feel like she's talking to us and she wants her mom's body back. I feel like there has been some kind of understanding and coming moment where you have to accept the inevitable and what it looks like, right? I feel like she's accepting while of course none of us want to have to do that, but at some point you have to come to it no matter how your loved one leaves this earth. I feel like she has come to an acceptance that her mother will not come back alive, but she's holding out hope and willing to up the money just to get her mom back. And listen, I don't fault her for that. I would, whether my mom was missing, dead or alive, I would want my mom back. No matter how I got her back, bring her back to me. So I want to listen to it again. The other thing I thought was weird, not weird, but it's definitely a publicity thing, a public thing. They realize how much backlash they've gotten for all the resources that have been spent. And I'm not saying they shouldn't be. I'm not saying they should be. I'm just saying we all know that if my neighbor, Mr. Joe, who's my elderly neighbor next door, you guys know him, if he went missing, the president would not be calling. FBI wouldn't even show up unless the sheriff around here calls him. Definitely wouldn't be on the news. The one that would be on the news is me out there with my hair out to here, running around and begging people to help me find my Mr. Joe, because I love that man. You know what I mean? So maybe that would get some attention, the crazy woman that's out there running around looking for her neighbor. But we know celebrity brings in bigger dogs. And so at the end, when she says that they're going to donate $500,000 to the Center of Missing and Exploited Children. Look, I ain't trying to judge anybody, but why are we waiting until the 4th week to do that? Is it? I hate being this way, you guys, but I have to play both sides of it. Is she really doing that from her heart because now she understands what it feels like to be victimized in this way? Or is she doing it because she's heard a lot of people screaming, we wouldn't get this much attention if it was our loved one? Tashi said they found the poor 85-year-old man's body here last night. Hold on. I know he went missing the same day. Is that correct, Tashi? Who was abducted and 2 youngins in custody. Terrible. And see, we wouldn't have known that unless we had Australian friends that came in here and told us about it, because it's not on my news. Joni, stick around. You'll learn my point. I did see, 2 weeks ago. Okay. Well, I hate the outcome, but I am glad that his family's going to get him back. Anomaly, thank you for coming in. It's good to see you, honey. So yeah, Wild Angel says she thinks it's PR. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Regardless of the reasons, though, I mean, we're, I guess, $500,000 closer to finding some missing children. I guess that's all I can say about that. All right, so we're going to listen to it one more time, and then we'll move on to something else, and it'll come up again because it's being talked about on the other things that I've pulled in. All right, let's play it one more time. Watch your ears, guys.
Hi there.
Let me just remind you, if you could zoom in closer on her face, to me, looking at her, it just looks like they've come to some kind of understanding. And just by the words that she's using, it doesn't sound like she's talking in code to anybody. I think it's just straight out, this is what it is, you guys.
I'm coming on to say it is day 24 since our mom was taken in the dark of night from her bed. And every hour and minute and second.
So I don't know if they meant to get that out or if they wanted her to put that out or not put it out. But did you guys hear? We were wondering, some people were wondering, did Nancy answer the door? Was it a undercover police officer or a police officer in disguise that Nancy opened the door for? She just said her mother was taken from her bed. That's terrible, y'all. That's terrible. I mean, it's terrible anyways, but could you imagine? Oh, I don't want to imagine. That's scary. Pink Peony, hello. I want a chimp implant at age 65 or 70. Why can't people opt in? I think it is a personal thing. It is very personal. I don't know that I would get one, but I understand people, especially nowadays, that are wanting to chip people so that stuff like this can't happen. Shag says, I think all of the above because the FBI and the sheriff do not want her to speak or do anything because it would mess with the investigation. All right, let's keep listening.
And every long night has been agony since then of worrying about her and fearing for her and aching for her. And most of all, just missing her, We know that millions of you have been praying. So many people have been praying of every faith and no faith at all, praying for her return. And we feel those prayers. Please keep praying without ceasing. We still believe. We still believe in a miracle. We still believe that she can come home. Hope against hope. As my sister says, we are blowing on the embers of hope. We also know that she may be lost. She may already be gone. She may have already gone home to the Lord that she loves and is dancing in heaven with her mom and her dad and with her beloved brother Pierce and with our daddy. And if this is what is to be, then we will accept it. But we need to know where she is. We need her to come home. For that reason, we are offering a family reward of up to $1 million for any information that leads us to her recovery. All of the information about this reward and the details is in the caption below. You can call the 1-800-TIP line. You can be anonymous if you want. Someone out there knows something that can bring her home. Somebody knows. And we are begging you to please come forward now. We also know that we are not alone in our loss. We know there are millions of families that have suffered with this kind of uncertainty. And for that reason today, we also are donating $500,000 to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children for their work in helping families who are coping with loss and actively looking for those who are lost. We are hoping that the attention that has been given to our mom and our family will extend to all the families like ours who are in need and need prayers and need support. So please, if you hear this message, if you've been waiting and you haven't been sure, let this be your sign to please come forward, tell what you know, and help us bring our beloved mom home so that we can either celebrate a glorious, miraculous homecoming or celebrate the beautiful, brave, and courageous and noble life that she has lived. Please be the light in the dark. Thank you.
There you go. What says y'all? Let me know what you guys think. What is it? It feels different to me. Hi, Crime Girl. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you so much. Roy Law, hello. Satanic sacrifice, perhaps. She's with the satanic cult. You have the right to that opinion. You're actually the first person I've seen in here that has actually gone that way. I'm not saying it couldn't happen or it didn't happen. I don't know. But that's a new theory. I haven't heard that one yet. I think it's coming straight from her, not the FBI. And I think she was letting everyone know that, yeah, they took her from the bed. Oh, God, you guys, that's just, I mean, we could go down this whole road of what ifs. But I try not to let my mind dwell in those places like that for very long. And it's really hard for me to talk about the what ifs in what could have happened, there. And especially them being in the house for that long. And we know that I just can't even talk about it right now. I just can't. I just can't. As far as what happened to her, I just can't imagine what these people were doing in a house for 40 minutes. And I just can't. This is so crazy. Crime Girl says it's definitely someone who knows her, in my opinion. Mine too. Pink Peony says my dad had dementia. I can't imagine coming down with it, so no chip implant would be scary. Look, I understand it. I understand I understand all sides to it. And I'm nobody to say what to do with your guys' lives. Nobody. That is a very personal choice. And I don't, well, I just don't judge anybody for that at all. I mean, we live in such a scary, scary world. Digital Maniac says, I heard Savannah wrote something in a book about how, and her sister would plan how to kidnap her mom. That's so weird. Okay. So what I know about that is that, okay, hold on. Let me see what this says. I think somebody answered you down below. I don't know if you guys know about the Dad's Gone Live. He's got the scanner and was following a lot of leads from police, and they were pulling a lot of people over tonight and checking backpacks. I do know of Dad's Gone Live. I think he does some good work, but and if you guys just don't want to listen to another creator, there is a YouTube channel that will bring up the scanner. Or you could just type in anywhere in the United States, you guys, all you got to do is type in your county or your city and your state and look for a scanner. We've all got scanners. So like mine, ours is by county. So And what's really cool is, the police, they talk in code over those scanners, but underneath mine, it actually tells you what the code is, like O2 is death or O3 is murder. You know what I mean? It's like that. I love listening to them. Tashi responded, digital. It's definitely a common theory that the family is involved and gambling has been involved, but we don't know. No chip is needed. You have to keep an eye on your people, especially if they live alone. I think living alone, well, yeah, absolutely. But I mean, people go missing, especially children, out of their beds every day, and the parents are right down the hall. Maybe we all just need to pool our money and make sure all of us just have like really tight security systems on the house. Hi, Ahmed. I think I pronounced it right. The reward is actually for, I read the little description while she was talking. It's actually for the recovery of Nancy Guthrie. Not for information or anything like that. It's for the actual person who sends in the tip that brings Nancy home, and it's in accordance with the laws of the FBI. So, that's all I know so far. She said that's a family offering. So I don't know if what was it, $100,000 that the FBI was donating to get her back, or the lead that's going to find her or the culprits is still in effect or not. I'm not sure. Physically check up on them. I get you a number. Listen, girlfriend, I'm with you. You know, if you're a girlfriend or a boyfriend, I don't understand why she was living alone. I don't understand it. And my mama did what the hell she wanted to do, and you can bet when I get that age, I'm going to do what the hell I want to do. But it's a give and take situation. If you tell your kids, look, I'm not coming to live with you, because that's what I'm going to say. And if they said, Mom, then we're strapping the security up around this house like Fort Knox in here. Well, you got to give and take. You got to say, okay, I'm not leaving any house, so don't let anything in. You know what I mean? I think it's got to be a give and take situation. But some people are just so damn stuff. My mom was stubborn, and she didn't want us to know anything she was doing because she was shady sometimes. The return of her missing mother, right? Her mom, Casey's got a lot more attention than others. And she's trying to include the families in it. Other people know there's other people that are missing. Right. There's been they've gotten a lot of flack about that. Why is this one so getting so much attention? Celebrities talk, you guys. Crime Girl says, okay, can I be realistic? Absolutely. I love it. Missing Remote says, I think there was a robbery gone wrong. Not she was taken out of bed. Oh, okay. Damn. I wish you had been in some of my lives, because I think you might have changed your mind on that one. In fact, just last night probably would have changed your mind on a robbery gone wrong. That's just my opinion, but you guys are welcome to yours. My opinion may not be right. In fact, I hope my whole opinion's wrong. I hope everything that I think of this case is completely wrong. I've shared what I think is going on, and it's not pretty. It's just not. And I pray I am completely wrong. Not only elderly wander away from nursing homes around these parts, hypothermia. Oh, that's scary. Lulu, Crime Girl, yes, but please be respectful. Mikey Mike said, good morning. Anything new happened? Was still in season 1 of 24 of the Nancy Guthrie Show. Afraid so, love bug, but they have upped the reward money to $1 million. Anonymously says, how can anyone know where she was taken from? But, well, DNA. So let's just say you walk into a crime scene and you see some blood. It's on the porch, maybe some trickles in the house. Wouldn't you follow the blood? What happens if the blood started in bed? Bam, you know that's where it started. What if other DNA is there? Semen, spit, hair, fingerprints on something. I think if there, and they say there's DNA, we just don't know where the DNA is in the house. But I think if it is blood or semen, we would know where it started or where they got her at. It's definitely different. I believe she knows a lot more than she did the last time she went on. I think they're coming to grips that she's not coming back alive. Crime Girl says, I hope with everything in me that she is okay and they find her for closure. It's just sad that normal people don't get this attention, right? That's what we're talking about. And that's why I think that they came out and donated $500,000 to the Missing Children's Fund. Elder people walk off because somebody wasn't doing their job. Well, they get away because some people weren't doing their job, not walk off. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Oh my God, y'all, I've worked in those departments as hell. Mikey Mike, definitely not a robbery, no rubber gloves, to a house filled with a backpack, and then takes the person hostage. They're usually drug addicts and want quick money, and they definitely don't stay in the house for that long. And why would you come at that time when we already know you've been there before? So you do know that you guys do know that the two pictures, these ones, let me show you real quick. It's come out yesterday that these are two different pictures. Now, I believe, could be wrong, and a lot of people believe that the picture without the pew pew on and looks bigger. We believe that the one that doesn't have the pew pew on, we believe this to be taken on January the 11th, just because of some things that came up on the 11th. So they have come out and said that these pictures were not taken on the same night like everybody thought. That's why I thought they were taken on the same night. And I was like, you guys, this is two different people. They're two different body types altogether. But we broke that down last night, and that it still could be two different people. But if you're going to come in and do a robbery, you're not going to case the place a couple weeks before and then come back like that. I just don't think so. But I'm not law enforcement either. Let's see. I'm getting there, y'all. I'm sorry. Renee Ranid said 857 Saw is the live with the scanner. Yeah, yeah. Thank you for putting that in here, you guys. It's good stuff. I love listening to scanners, though. Any scanner, I don't care. I'm just nosy. Criminal Girl, it does pique the interest of people, though, which can make other missing people be thought of, mentioned, or focused on. This may lead to answers for their families. Lulu, I agree. And you know, that's the deal, right? I mean, none of us here, we know we're not going to solve the case, but there's nothing wrong with having a discussion about it and learning about crime. And God forbid, if anyone needs this kind of information that we're learning through watching this kind of stuff, maybe we might be one step closer to finding our loved ones or pulling a criminal to justice for a crime against our family because of what we have learned through these things, right? And then, I mean, how many times have they been investigating a case before and you hear that they've solved another case, right? They found a body that was missing, and because they're looking for a body out there, and it happens to solve another case. You just never know. It's amazing. Normally, I don't know about anywhere else, but I know here in Australia, the nursing homes aren't allowed to hold them in the home, so they wander off. We used to have an old man wander our town a lot. Oh my goodness. I'd be running out with coffee to him. It's definitely familiar, and we definitely going to be shocked, but not too shocked when they get this. I'm telling you, I think I'm going to be shocked, but I'm not going to be surprised. Hi, Catherine. Good to see you. I hope her mother is found alive. There are so many people out there whose children are missing. It's too bad that everybody doesn't get this much publicity. You're exactly right. I feel the same way. It is shining light on missing people in general. Let's pray this leads to an outcome for another family of missing loved ones. I hope she is done. I hope she's done the save also. That would be great, a great ending. But the new video of Savannah, she seems to think she's passed away now. It's so sad. That's what I took from it as well, Mike. I took from it that it's an acceptance. Anomaly. I always have trouble saying that word, even when I could see it. Anomaly says, someone tell Savannah, I need my money. Annie and her husband are wrong. All right. Ralph, hello, good to see you. Ralph says he lives alone and suck it because he likes it. That's what I'm going to be saying. I'm going to be like, look, you kids, I gave birth to you. Remember that? I'm living by myself. I'm going to be all Kevin McAllister. I'm living alone. Y'all, I'm going to go all kind of crazy on them kids. They don't want, believe you me, my kids really don't want me living with them probably. So they probably would put up the money. But no, I don't. I can't imagine living with my kids. I just can't. I can't. Those kids try to tell me what to do now with my life. I'm like, oh, back up. Anyone can have surveillance cameras at their house for free. If you have old phones, there's an app that you download for free and you can watch a thief on the camera of your phone. I did not know that. Ralph says, I'm old school. I pity the fool who tries to enter my castle. You damn right, because all of us old school people are packing. It's called Alfred Cam. I've never, ever heard of that. Ever. That's interesting. I know that they, here in the States, they used to say, if you want to donate your phone, to donate them because they go to shelters for women. And even though it may not, they may not be able to afford to have service on it, you can actually still dial 911 on it. Isn't that cool? Don't y'all love that? I love that so much, to give it to, homeless people or especially women that they just can't get out of the abusive situation right now, and to hide that phone somewhere where or even men, it happens to men sometimes too, just not. But what I'm saying is, so that the abused in the home has it, and at any time when they're just ready, they could just hit that 911. I think that's brilliant. I don't know if we still do it though, because I haven't heard in a long time about donating your phone. Taken from the bed, suggests there wasn't any signs of forced entry. Entry, correct. Hi, uncomfortable with the truth. I'm very comfortable with the truth. I love the truth. I don't care how much it hurts. Stick it to me. Can't stand a liar. Jezebel says, I think she is taking a dirt nap. Well, that's one way of putting it. Good thinking, truth. Tashi says, or maybe a sign of struggle. There too. Yeah, it could have all started right there. And if we're going by the timeline, she was already home for over three hours when her pacemaker sped up, right? Because the pacemaker sped up right around the 2 o'clock hour. So I would think she would at least be in bed, like watching According to Lainey on YouTube, y'all. Thoughts on them saying the videos are from 2 different nights. Looks the same lights are on in the background to me. Well, they would be, because their houses back there, Lego Mike. They would be, but I mean, listen, the police can lie to us. So that's why I'm willing to entertain anything. When we started pulling, everybody started saying there's 2 people involved, at least 2 people involved. That's when they finally came out, yesterday, the day before yesterday, and said, you guys, that picture was taken on 2 different nights. But that doesn't mean that they're telling us the truth, right? I don't know, but I tend to believe now, looking at it, I still think it's two different people. It's going to be hard to convince me that it's different, unless instead of wearing a backpack when he came the first time, all the stuff that he had in the backpack was in the front of his belly. Faux show, Leanie. He could also have got pee on the toilet. That is right. Tell it like it is. Does the kidnapper have any kind of an accent? We don't know. We don't know. Jezebel has no sensitivity for a grieving family. Remarks like that are just uncalled for. Julia, it's a pretty name, says, I agree. But, I mean, we're an adult channel and people say stuff. There are times, I try not to on this case, but when I'm not being serious, you guys, I say all kind of stupid shit. But, yeah. The other two are different people. Shag says, Crime Girl says, nothing was gone, not a robbery. This is just for money to me. I think so too. She says, I think it's someone that knows her. I agree wholeheartedly with you, wholeheartedly. Mikey Mike says, that's probably tomato, Tabasco hot sauce, dude. The first night, then the band member. Now, I see, Mike, that's a great thought, and I thought about that too. Now Mags and Maggie, my co-host, who usually does a live during the daytime with her co-host Lizzo, they did kind of break all that down with tomato and Tommaso and hot sauce dude. And I don't know, but it's still so possible. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Because why didn't he just go ahead and go do the deed that night? What spooked him? Something spooked him, or he scared himself, or there was a light that was turned on. If in fact that is a different night. I mean, and the second time around, maybe Tomato wasn't going to do it. Maybe he was like, oh, no. Who knows? Lulu says she believes it's Tomato's build for both shows. Good morning, Damage. Good to see you, Ethel. Mikey, I heard a lot about them, and I think they got a lot of evidence out of the house, and they were seen there twice. Well, we do know, you guys, that the DNA, there's not a whole lot of DNA. We learned that last night, and the reason why we know that now is because they said that they're having trouble decipher. They know that there's DNA mixed with either some other DNA or something else that's hard to get a panel on. And we know every time they test a DNA sample, you guys, it's gone. That sample's gone. And that's why in a lot of cases when there is very small, minute amounts of DNA, like they will wait till the very last possible moment to do any kind of testing on it because they know they've only got one shot at it. Good to see everybody here. Thank you so much. Do me a favor, hit the like. That's all I ask, is that you hit the like and hopefully jump into chat, have a good talk with us. Listen, your opinion matters and you won't be shot down for it at all. We're just having a conversation about what we think happened and hopefully get a little bit smarter. That's all. They've also found a lot of bodies that were missing. That's true. Wait, in this case, I didn't know that. In this case, did they? I haven't heard that. Pink Peony says, my dad loved interacting on scanners for truckers. Oh, my dad had a scanner in the truck, and you guys don't know. I have to tell you stories. You don't know how much we love going on trips, and we'd be able to talk on the CB. My dad always talked to him too. Crime Girl says, I just hope Pima County doesn't have anything to do with my family. It's a train wreck. We agree. I think all of us here actually agree. I call him Sheriff. I don't know, because I've never seen a sheriff that didn't know as much as he don't know. Two different pics are two different angles, just slightly different. So someone moved the camera between the two men there. Wow, I didn't think about that, April. You're right, it is at two different angles. But could it, I have to look back at it. Could it be, wait a minute, let me pull it back up. I want to see something really, really quick. Now, The one of the guy without the pew pew and the backpack on, you guys, that is pixelated big time. They have sucked that picture in. And we noticed it when I was showing this picture by itself. I could in the picture point to you where he was standing, but if they zoomed in on the picture to get some kind of something like this from it, he could still be a little bit further away. We do know for sure that he is not in the portico yet. He is not on the porch yet. He has not gone under the arch yet. So we know that because of the lighting and no shadow being in the picture, which, like I said, it could have to do with the pixelation or even the lighting. I think he's further back because she has those lights that are motion lights in the front of the house. So there should the background should be lit up more, just like it is with the guy with the gun, right? I mean, you could see clearly back there the back of him. Not clearly, but you could see there's a light on. This guy right here, they've either cropped out all of that so we don't see his background. Maybe he's in the backyard. Who knows? Maybe this picture wasn't even taken by the portico and that's what they put in there. Listen, they're not going to tell us everything. They're not. What do y'all think about that? Whew. Mikey says, I prefer to live alone. Me too. I'm married though. 3 days a month, 3 days a year, 3 days a week. Fuck, I'm trying to get it going longer, you guys. He will kill me. Hi, Tammy. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. It works great. Free app. Hey, Donna. Sad to say, but I really strongly feel she's passed. Feel she's towards the back of the family house area. I hope not, but it's so sad. Well, my question is, we just don't know how far the cadaver dogs went. I would hope they would have walked at least her whole property. I think she's in the Mexican desert. I just do. I know I used to say Tiffany thing happened. Everything happened to me or I went missing. I think my kids would be the only ones that cared. I don't think anybody would look for me. You got friends. You got friends, girl. Oh, Beachy and Becca be right on out there. They stopped that program. It's bad also. Yeah, so on the video that was first released, because you guys know these pictures were taken off of a video. They're just stills taken from a video. I can point out just in the minute that we're looking at, I can point to 3 different places on that video where you can plainly see that the video is cropped out, that they've taken pieces out of the video. Lulu says, you're all a great group here in chat. Thanks, everyone. Give yourselves a thumbs up. You aren't alone in that theory, Donna. Donna, glad they found 3-year-old in Phoenix. Hope she's hope safe. I think that's the one that Lizzo and Maggie were talking about the other day. Her name is they showed a picture of her on their live, and she went missing. And I remember saying that I pray a family member had her, and it was a family member, wasn't it? Truth is my only way. I agree with you, girlfriend. Even if it hurts, look, I'll brace myself. Give it to me hard. Pink says, I would not look forward to dealing with the daughter-in-laws. I choose to live alone. That can be a tricky situation. Yeah, I don't ever want to have to find out. Phyllis, good morning, says, did you ever notice how the wealthy people start donating large sums of money when it affects them personally? That's what I asked everybody when I showed it. I wanted to know, do you guys think that they finally donated to exploited and missing children because they're getting bad press about how much resources that they're using for this case? Why are they waiting now to do that? Is it a PR move, or do they really just feel like now they have something in common, so they feel bad? I don't know. Tammy says, but the police say they were there Saturday night. Who was there, honey? Pacemaker could locate her unless it's damaged. Well, they did that. They sent the chopper down there and really low to the ground and had that sniffer seeker thing on it. And I guess they didn't find anything. Hi, Beaver. Good to see you. Thank you for coming up. I see you, Mikey Mike BA. It's not lean. It is leaning after dark, but not on this channel. Not on this live. Yeah, I think the son-in-law is really involved. Me too. I think he's the mastermind. Absolutely. Digital says, please explain what you've heard about Savannah's book talking about her and her sister planning her mom kidnapping. Oh, did I pass that? I'm sorry. You see what happens to me, Digital? Like things just pop in my head and then I forget what I'm saying. Drive my kids, my oldest daughter, she says I'm bad about it. So what we've heard about that, none of us that I know of has even read the book yet, but what we heard was that when she was a child, her aunt, and if I'm getting this wrong, Chat, go ahead and correct me. That when they were a child, her aunt played a trick on them and abducted them, and they called their mom, and their mom came and picked them up or something like that. I think Melly Joe told us last night that the book is out on audio now. I think I'm going to order it just because I want to know. I mean, and I have to play both sides. So what I'm thinking of is, say I wrote a book about when I choked on an hour or later once when I was a kid. It was a whole thing, guys. And then I wrote a book about it, and then a couple months later, one of my family members choked too. Does that mean that I had anything to do with it? So should we kind of look at it like that even though I just don't think that's normal to even pretend that you're kidnapping your kids? I would never even thought to do that at all. So, I'm trying to play both sides. I'm trying to, I always try to see other people's position. You know what I mean? And then I come back to what makes sense. And what makes sense is that's really dumb if that really happened. You should not tease your kids about kidnapping them. And I don't know what parent really would do that. Lulu says, Savannah wrote in her book about she and her sister playing kidnapping games as kids. Strange coincidence. Tammy is all American, y'all. She's from Kansas and she's a female, by God. Yeah, very weird. Today I was watching JLR and the guys who the head of the neighbor watch was on camera. He's definitely not good at his job. Oh, I didn't see it. It's been days, you guys, since I've been able to watch JLR. I love me some JLR. JLR, kudos to him. He deserves every good thing that could ever happen to him. Only because, the man's out there. I wish I could do that, y'all. I wish I could just get on, because y'all know there's nothing I love more than a good old road trip. As much as I can get on the road, I get on the road. I love it. But I've got 3 dogs here that need my attention. And one of them gets sick in the car. The other one hates the car. And we're not sure what little Laramie's going to do yet, y'all. But I wish I could just get in there and go. So God bless JLR for letting all the creators on YouTube use his content, and a lot of them are making money off of it, and a lot of them have been very, very rude by not allowing his name to be mentioned in their chat, even though they're playing him on their screens and monetizing it. I think that's a shame. I think it's a shame. Shameful people. Lou says, Lewis is a Welsh name. Thought you may be in the UK. We have lots of Lewis here in Australia as well. Erica says, does anybody know what her newest book is about? I think it's about her childhood. Am I wrong, you guys? I'm not exactly sure, Erica. But you know what? I'll order it and then I'll pass it to the next person. Let's just not all order it. Let's just one person all order. I'll listen to it. I could probably get it done in like 3 to 4 days, depending on how much housework and how much driving I'm doing. And then I'll pass it on to somebody else or just pass it around. That's the best way to do stuff. I've learned a lot of stuff through watching this case. They can track you as long as you have your phone with you. Craziness. Yeah, I've always known that. And did you know they're watching you if you have smart TV? Listen, the only time they can't track you and that they don't know where you're at or what you're doing is if you commit a crime. Now, if you're on the up and up and walking the straight and narrow to get to heaven with Jesus, they know exactly what you're doing. They prove it every day. I'm surprised the lack of nosy neighbors gossiping to the media. Me too, actually. My maiden name is Hunt. More likes. Thank you, Pink Peony. Thank you, honey. Yeah, y'all hit the like, please. Zippiest mouths I've ever heard. They day nothing. They heard about they day nothing. Don't know what the hell that they say nothing. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Mikey, I learned that in lockdown, when we wanted to go out for fresh air, we left our phones at home. We could just stay home long, that's for sure. I think I stayed home for 6 weeks, and then all of a sudden I became this person that was needed. When I wrote the message, I meant that they were at Annie's house twice. Right, and they still got her car. Still got her car. When zoomed out, you could tell by the archway. But I'm wondering if, you know how you can make pictures look different with AI or whatever. I say AI now because it's the new word everybody's saying. But you know how they can make them look different, like make it look like he's in the front of the house? I just don't put them past them that they changed his surroundings to place him there and make you more aware. It wouldn't surprise me. Now, I'm not saying he's really not in front of the house, but I'm really suspicious about because it's so dark. It's so dark. Hi, Raymond. Haley, stuck in Vegas overnight and just listening. I don't know what to think at this point. Honey, you know what? I think at times I think I got it figured out, and other times I'm like, you're a shit, Leanie. You're a shit. But you know, I was stuck in the airport for 9 hours in Vegas. It's the only time I've ever been to Vegas. Didn't leave the airport for nothing. Didn't trust anybody. Couldn't believe how much money my dad and my sister spent in that damn airport. While I sat in the smoking room and caught up on all of my YouTube. So get you some rest, honey. Get you some rest. And thank you for being here, Raymond. I really enjoy what you have to say as well. I'm so boring that I felt totally unaffected during the lockdown. I did live the empty roads. I did live the empty roads on the way to work and 80 per liter fuel, but everything else was the same. I was a complete wreck during lockdown. Complete wreck. Even though I worked full time, I mean, y'all, I wouldn't let anybody who lived in my house. I was like, do not come through my front door. Go to the garage, shut the door, take off your clothes. There is some bleach wipes or Lysol wipes right there. I'm going to need you to wipe your hands down, your face down, your neck down, your arms down, and get straight to the shower. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200, and don't look at me. I was serious, y'all. I was serious. I thought we were all dying. I really did. It's just sad putting an elderly woman that has heart problems out of her home. That's right. People they don't have any conscience. No morals, no conscience anymore. Tashi actually enjoyed staying home. I did for was I home 6 weeks? 6 weeks. I didn't want to go back to work. I was like, Daddy Trump's going to take care of me. Y'all don't worry about it. But I had to go back. Erica says, if something happens to my husband, I will be a crazy dog lady. I'm a crazy dog lady and my husband's still here. I'm going to get like 50 more. Yeah, Tammy Lewis, you got to be a sick individual to take an 80-year-old woman. Yeah, I mean, I hope she's still alive. Tammy says, and okay, but no meds for 24 days. It's really way too long without her meds, right? The little one whose mom was murdered. I didn't know that her mom was murdered. I just heard Maggie and Lizzo talking about it on their live. And then, remember Lizzo posted in Discord the very next day that they had found her. Well, now we know why they didn't ask the Mexican authorities to look for her there. Um, USA authorities were watching the border and were undercover to do that raid. Wow, that's a different thought as well, Mikey. That definitely why, because they didn't do it until now. I look at that much grief they have been getting about it. Yeah, PR. I mean, I heard the sheriff told Savannah not to offer a reward first, which brings us to this. Thank you for saying that, Mikey. Mike, let's pull up something else. I didn't nearly get caught up in chat. You guys, I do the best I can. But y'all know I love you. And thank you guys so much for being here. I just came in the chat. Motive, OxyClean says, I don't think we're ever going to find out the motive. If you want my opinion on a motive, I think we could if it turns out to be the people who some of us suspect to be, which would be Tomato Tommaso hot sauce dude. Then it would be money, hands down. But if this turns out to be a random thing, which no signs are pointing to that to me, then we may not ever know. No way. All right, let's pull this up. You guys, thank you so much for being here. Will you hit the like for me? That's all I ask. And if you will jump into chat and give us your opinion or your thought, or listen, none of us are right and none of us are wrong until this case is solved. So jump in, let us know what you think, and we're glad to have you here. All right, guys, my source on this one is Brian Inton. Y'all, we love some pretty eyes right here. Brian Inton, thank you for letting us also play your stuff and not striking any of us for it. Now, we are using this as copyright. Let's see, 1976 gives allowances for this to be used for the purposes of teaching, y'all, for the contents to be used for purposes of criticism. I can't believe I didn't remember that. News reporting, comment, teaching, scholarship, and research is being floated across the stream. Do not come for us, YouTube, because we're just a small little channel here, just trying to do our thing. Y'all watch your ears, okay? I'm going to let this play through. I'm not going to stop it. I am putting it up. I think playback speed, I've got it on, maybe I should put it on 1.25, because sometimes 1.5 is too fast. All right, let's do 1.25, and I think we'll be able to understand it from there. This is Brian Inton Investigates. You guys, if you guys haven't subbed up to him, if you feel like doing it, do it. I like him. Savannah, he titled it, Savannah Discouraged from the $1 million reward in the beginning. DNA problems get worse in the Nancy Guthrie case. So let's just take a listen to what Brian has to say here, guys.
Really appreciate it. Please click to subscribe. I can't believe it's now day 24 in the search for Nancy Guthrie. I'm in Nancy's neighborhood. Her house is right up behind me. A lot to get to in this episode. There's been a lot of developments over the last 24 hours. First of all, Savannah Guthrie released the new video with a $1 million reward, saying that she will offer $1 million to anyone with information that will lead to where her mom is. And I've got new reporting about the fact that she apparently wanted to put this reward out way sooner, but there was someone who was trying to stop her from doing that. And I'm going to get into that in this episode. Also, new information on the DNA. This is not good news. This is in reference to the DNA found inside Nancy's house that I was quite optimistic about, because the sheriff said it did not belong to Nancy or anyone within her inner circle. Well, new reporting from News Nation that it is not viable, the DNA, which means that there are such issues with this DNA that they cannot even put it into the CODIS database, which is the federal database of criminals' DNA, which is just.
Let me just stop it right there a second. I know if you're in the live, it's really hard to find the like when we're talking about hit the like, hit the like. If you're already in it, it's hard to find it. But do me a favor, Sherman's Garden, double click your screen really fast and tell me what happens. Magic is going to happen, because I've heard on Androids alike as iPhones, if you double tap your screen, it automatically throws that thumb up there, throws it up there. All right, so let's finish playing this. I hope that helps. Sherman's, it's so good to see you. Thank you for coming in, and thank you for looking for the like button. That's really kind.
It's not good news. I remember the sheriff wanted to send the DNA to his private lab in Florida instead of sending it to Quantico. So I'll get into the latest DNA developments, which again are not positive. And then also, I met up with a former SWAT member who worked here in Pima County and was also a detective. He met me out here at the house. Really interesting to get his perspective on the latest developments with the 2 surveillance photos. And then also he drove me around the neighborhood and showed me just how dark it is at night here and also how important the moon is here. Locals know this, but depending on the moon and the cloud cover can have a huge impact on how bright it is in the neighborhood, which could be important when it comes to when the suspect was here for the kidnapping. And then also one of the previous days that we now know that the suspect was here. So I'm going to get into the latest developments on all of this in this episode of Brian Ensign Investigates. Hey guys, so I'm outside Nancy Guthrie's house. I kind of found this little spot that I sit at sometimes, kind of up on the hill, away from all the media, and it's kind of loud down there. It's actually kind of peaceful right here. The neighbors have been super nice to let us sort of, in a sense, camp out in some of these areas while we continue to cover the case. I mean, I can't believe it's day 24 now, which is just insane. But as I mentioned, I have a lot to get to in this episode. Let me start with the new reward. I had heard yesterday that Savannah Guthrie was going to be releasing a video this morning. And today is, what is today? Today is Tuesday, by the way, for people who are following along, day 24. And Savannah is now offering a $100,000 reward for any information that would lead to her mother, Nancy Guthrie. It's another heartbreaking video. I mean, she acknowledges that her mom may not be alive anymore. And every time she releases one of these videos, it just reminds everyone kind of what this is really all about. And I told you guys before that I get so wrapped up in the investigation sometimes and chasing down all the leads and information that sometimes even I just need a reminder of sort of the human element of this and just what it must be like for Savannah and her family for the last 24 days. I have some reporting that Savannah wanted to offer this $1 million reward early on in all of this, early on in the investigation, right after her mom went missing, and that she was discouraged from doing so by law enforcement, who were concerned that a $1 million reward at that stage would lead to just too many tips coming in and that they would be overwhelmed and it would clog the system, essentially. Some are reporting, some outlets have been reporting that it was the sheriff specifically who told her not to do the $1 million reward early on. I just know that it was law enforcement. Although my sense is if it was early on, it may have been before the FBI even got involved in the case, because remember, it was a couple days before the FBI came in. But I want to play for you.
Are y'all all side-eyeing that? Are you guys like, of course it was the sheriff? That's what I'm thinking. Of course it was him. Thank y'all for hitting the like for me. I appreciate it so, so, so much.
For you the full Savannah video, and then I'll tell you more about what I know about it and kind of get into some of the other new reporting I have today about the DNA.
Hi there. I'm coming on to say it is day 24 since our mom was taken in the dark of night from her bed. And every hour and minute and second and every long night has been agony since then, of worrying about her and fearing for her and aching for her. And most of all, just missing her, We know that millions of you have been praying. So many people have been praying of every faith and no faith at all, praying for her return. And we feel those prayers. Please keep praying without ceasing. We still believe. We still believe in a miracle. We still believe that she can come home. Hope against hope. As my sister says, we are blowing on the embers of hope. We also know that she may be lost. She may already be gone. She may have already gone home to the Lord that she loves and is dancing in heaven with her mom and her dad and with her beloved brother Pierce and with our daddy. And if this is what is to be, then we will accept it. But we need to know where she is. We need her to come home. For that reason, we are offering a family reward of up to $1 million for any information that leads us to her recovery. All of the information about this reward and the details is in the caption below. You can call the 1-800-TIP line. You can be anonymous if you want. Someone out there knows something that can bring her home. Somebody knows. And we are begging you to please come forward now. We also know that we are not alone in our loss. We know there are millions of families that have suffered with this kind of uncertainty. And for that reason today, we also are donating $500,000 to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children for their work in helping families who are coping with loss and actively looking for those who are lost. We are hoping that the attention that has been given to our mom and our family will extend to all the families like ours who are in need and need prayers and need support. So please, if you hear this message, if you've been waiting and you haven't been sure, let this be your sign to please come forward, tell what you know, and help us bring our beloved mom home so that we can either celebrate a glorious, miraculous homecoming or celebrate the beautiful, brave, and courageous and noble life that she has lived. Please be the light in the dark.
Look at that before your very eyes. OMG, you need Prime Prometics color changing.
Thank you.
So again, just heartbreaking to hear from Savannah in that video, and my heart goes out to her. Also new at the house today, there was a crew that came in, put no trespassing signs up, which was a new development. I'm not surprised to see this happening. You know, people have been delivering flowers to the house, and you guys have seen there's been food deliveries, and I think they just wanted to put the signs up to kind of make clear that people are not allowed to walk on the property. There's also still been a Pima County Sheriff's deputy who has been here around the clock. I remember in the beginning, that wasn't the case when they cleared the crime scene, which has still led to a lot of questions about whether that was appropriate. But for the last couple of weeks, there's been a Pima County deputy here around the clock, keeping an eye on the house. And now they also added these no trespassing signs in front of the house. The DNA developments here are not good news. And this is reporting that I have confirmed here on the ground, but also my colleague Livy Dean in DC has some really good sources and has also double sourced this. So what we're reporting is that the DNA found inside Nancy Guthrie's home was only a partial sample and was not viable for CODIS. And so what that means is, remember the sheriff said over the weekend that they were having DNA challenges, and the sheriff opted to send the DNA to the private lab that he has used in Florida instead of to the FBI's lab at Quantico. And the fact that this is not viable means it's just not a strong DNA sample. We know, according to the sheriff at least, that it is not DNA connected to Nancy Guthrie or to anyone within her inner circle. But getting it in the CODIS database was important because CODIS is huge. It's a federal database, but there are, I mean, a ton of known criminals in this database. But they cannot.
Y'all, please make this make sense to me. Anybody in chat, anybody in the bushes, please help me understand this. They're saying that the DNA is not, I don't know. What did he say? I forget. There's not enough there. It's not enough to make a profile from, or what? Okay, I get it. Okay, I get it. I understand it. I just don't know how to say the way he said it. Well, if they don't have enough DNA to make a profile or to figure this out, how the hell do we know that it didn't belong to Nancy or any of her family? Did they already use up most of the DNA and that's what's left? They don't make any, does that make any sense to you? How can they exclude Nancy and everybody that's in her circle out of the DNA they got, but yet there's not enough there to make a profile with? The DNA they are searching isn't in code, and the DNA is a mixture together. They have to separate it. Okay, yeah, I understand that. And I know that it's not in the database. I get that. But what I'm saying is they're telling us all different stuff about the freaking DNA. First, it excluded Nancy, so they had to have tested it. It's not Nancy's DNA. It's not her circle's DNA, but yet now, boom, we're stopped. And it's mixed together with something. Y'all, someone please make that make sense to me, because I can't figure that out. That it's like somebody speaking two different languages to me. They can't put it into CODIS to begin with, is what he's saying. Right. So I'm going to back it up just a little bit more. But this is the DNA that they said they've excluded it from being Nancy's and her circle. So they would have had to use part of the DNA. But now it's mixed up. Well, who mixed it up? Oh my God, y'all.
over the weekend that they were having DNA challenges, and the sheriff opted to send the DNA to the private lab that he has used in Florida instead of to the FBI's lab at Quantico. And the fact that this is not viable means it's just not a strong DNA sample. We know, according to the sheriff at least, that it is not DNA connected to Nancy Guthrie or to anyone within her inner circle, but getting it in the CODIS database was important because CODIS is huge. It's a federal database, but there are, a ton of known criminals in this database, but they cannot even get it into the database because the DNA sample is not viable. So that is not good news. Remember, there was the DNA that they tested from the glove that was found 2 miles away. That DNA they were able to get into the database, and it just didn't have a match in the database. But I was much more interested from the beginning about the DNA from inside the house. And it turns out that at this point, it's not viable and they cannot get it into the CODIS database. And there are apparently also concerns that they will even be able to test it for genetic genealogy. Now, hopefully these things will improve. Maybe they can try a different lab or someone else with a different level of expertise. But at this point, again, our sources are confirming that the DNA found in the house was not viable for CODIS. And the sheriff over the weekend mentioned that they have been having challenges with that DNA.
So I've been away from home for a while for work, and one of the things I miss so much are my Factor meals. They make it so much easier to eat better, and Factor is a sponsor of today's video. Factor doesn't just ask you to meal prep because they've done the work for you, and it's real food. Factor is made by chefs and designed by dietitians, and it comes right to your door. You heat it for 2 minutes, and then boom, it is ready to.
Let me just say this and then I'm going to move on. The word viable means living, right? Okay. The word viable means living. So you're telling me there was enough living, live DNA, which is made up of all these cells, right? You're telling me there was enough DNA there to rule out it ever being Nancy's. And let's just say Tomato, Annie, and Savannah. Let's just say that. So they only did 4 people's DNA and excluded them. So it was viable then, but it's not viable now. No? Anyone? It'll make a lick of sense to me. I wonder if Brian thinks that doesn't make sense, or how is he making sense of it? I can't make sense of it. It doesn't make any sense. All right. Maybe this will help make some sense. All right, get on Incogni, y'all. That's what he's talking about. Get you some Incogni.
It took a long time to resolve. It literally took like months. And the truth is, we're all at risk. I've been alerted by several banks that I've used that there was a data breach.
I'll get you some Incogni and use Brian's code.
The surveillance camera in the front of Nancy Guthrie's house. You guys remember these 2 photos? There was the photo with the suspect with the backpack on, and then there was the photo of him without the backpack on. And it turns out, according to my sources, these photos are from different days. One of them is from when Nancy Guthrie was kidnapped early in the morning of February 1st. The other is from a previous day, and I have not been able to confirm what day that is. But this is significant, and I told you guys this yesterday, because this means that the person or persons were stalking Nancy Guthrie's house, were casing the house. This wasn't just someone who showed up early in the morning on February 1st and decided to do this because they were here a previous day, which is chilling and it's scary. It sort of makes this whole thing a bit more frightening, I think. But it's what a lot of people suspected, that this wasn't just some random act, that this was targeted, and it appears that this is evidence of that because we know that the person was here days before, or at least a day before, Nancy Guthrie was kidnapped. I want to bring back the January 11th date to you again because so many of the neighbors told me that when the FBI were canvassing this area, they were specifically asking about January 11th. Do you have video from January 11th? And we kept hearing again, nighttime hours of January 11th, which makes me wonder if that other surveillance photo is from January 11th. Is that why they were so interested in January 11th? I don't know that for sure. I just know that it's from a previous day. But regardless, it's a really big piece of information because it shows that the suspect was here stalking the house. And you're going to see when I get into this with my guest in a second, there are questions about whether this is the same person even. Yes, they have the same build. It could be a different jacket depending on the infrared and the lighting. It's hard to tell, but there are a lot of people who think that this is not the same person and that he's wearing a different jacket, which is also a possibility here. So we came out with this reporting about it being 2 different days, and also every other network also had the same reporting. I think ABC was the first to report it. Fox also has it. We have it. CBS has it. And the sheriff put out a new statement last night, and let me just read it to you. Basically, calling into question this reporting. Let me pull it up. They had it on their Twitter page. My service is kind of slow out here. We have the Starlink, which has been a huge lifesaver, but it's still difficult. Sometimes I'm kind of far from the Starlink here. All right, let me read you the statement. I found it here. So this is the sheriff's official comment on that. They say, "We are aware that doorbell images released earlier in the investigation depict a suspect in different stages of attire, including with and without a backpack. There is no date or timestamp associated with these images. Therefore, any suggestion that the photographs were taken on different days is purely speculative. This remains an active and ongoing criminal investigation. As with any investigation, conclusions will be guided by verifiable evidence and establishable facts. Speculation without factual support does not advance this investigative process." So they're saying that this is speculation and that it's purely speculative. I will say that I stand by my sources, and I know every other network had sources too. So I don't know why the sheriff is denying it, but my sources are good sources, and they say that they know now that these images are from different days. Is it possible that the sheriff is just not in the loop on this? That the FBI hasn't kept him in the loop? I don't know. I mean, remember, I also reported that FBI agents were going to the gun stores with 40 photos and 40 names, trying to see if any of the employees or owners knew who any of those people were, and the sheriff outright denied that that was happening and said that that was not true. And I literally talked to the gun store owners. And again, other networks then reported that too. So, you know, I stand by my reporting on this, but it's interesting that the sheriff put out a statement just fully denying it.
I have to stop it every now and then, y'all, so I could keep my channel. I'm so sorry. Look, it's not out of the realm of possibility that sheriff I don't know doesn't know about it. I know the FBI is the one that released this image, the images, and I know they also are the ones that released the video. I just somehow think that the first one was taken on January the 11th. Why would they be asking for that specific date? And then we also know that they were asking all the neighbors from the date of January 1st all the way to the 3rd of February, I think, or no, the 2nd of February. So there's that. It's just, it feels like it's getting more boggling and more boggling, but I do not put it past the FBI at all to have this guy on image and placing him next to where we've seen the other perpetrator. And I right now don't see anything that tells me any different than this is two different people. I think it's two different people. I think it's two different bodies altogether. And I have questioned myself, is that even the same jacket? So I don't know. If you push the picture back a little bit, the black line that goes across the guy who has the backpack on, I think I can see it, but sometimes when you look at something for so long, you can make up your own images in your mind. And I think sometimes I actually do that. So that's why I always confer with you guys. And also, the one without the backpack has what looks like to me like a pot belly, a beer belly, something that just looks like an older man's build. And it looks like the jacket is actually curving over the belly and going under it, kind of. That's just me. If you guys think different, let me know. And none of us are wrong. None of us are right. This hasn't been solved yet. And I don't know, you guys. It's just, it's crazy. It's crazy.
So I want to go now to my interview with Bob Krieger. He was the commander of the SWAT team in Pima County. He knows the county well. He was at the sheriff's office for decades. And he met me out here at night because first of all, I wanted to get his reaction to some of this newest news about the photos and the different days. But also, you just can't appreciate until you're here what it's really like at night. I mean, it is so dark. And I wanted to give you another visual of that. And we went around the neighborhood, we walked around the neighborhood, we drove around the neighborhood. And something else is just that the cloud cover and the moon are so important here to how light it is. I mean, it could be pitch black one night, the moon could be out another night, and you can see a little bit more depending on where the clouds are. There's reflection from the city lights in Tucson. So all of that comes into play, which he helped explain. What do you think about this reporting now that we have that, you know, the one photo is from the morning when Nancy was abducted, and then the other photo is from, we don't know what day, but from a day before. Yeah. What does that mean to you?
Well, the first thing I thought when I saw the photos and heard that they might be from different days is that whoever did this is far more sophisticated than maybe I initially gave them credit for. This wasn't a chance encounter. It was planned out. And from what I would say, from if it is 2 different days, planned out very well. You know, coming on different nights, seeing, you know, what light is, what traffic in the neighborhood is, things like that. That tells me it's very thought out, very well planned. So that would tell me there was probably a reason behind it as well.
Yeah, when I first saw the photos, I was wondering because he didn't have the backpack on in one, and you can't tell for sure that they're the same jacket. But I was wondering mainly about the backpack. Like, why wouldn't he have the backpack on in both photos? So this does kind of explain that.
Yeah, I saw the same thing. It could have been as simple as, you know, he walked up once without the backpack to see if anyone was there, walked back to a car or whatever, picked it on and got his gear and decided to go in. But when I was looking at I zoomed in at the jackets, and they do appear different. Now, it's tough to tell under IR lighting, but the one without the backpack and without the gun visible looks more like a camouflage type jacket to me. You could see different colored splotches and things like that, which the other jacket clearly looked like it was a solid color.
So do you think it could be 2 different people?
It absolutely could be. I looked at the body type; they're very similar. It probably, if I were doing it, it'd probably be the same person. You know, the less people that know, you know, you're not going to be sending a lot of people to, if you're trying to do a scout of a location, you want the same person doing it just to keep all the information consistent. It's horrible to say from a bad guy point of view, but that's the right thing to do. The same person does it every time. So they know the ins and outs. They know the layout of the walkway up, the doors, which way the door handles are at, all these silly little things that most people won't think about, but you want to keep that the same, keep that consistent. Just layman, it looks like the same person to me, just different clothing.
What does it tell you that he was here if it is the same person days before? I mean, is that a casing situation, planning?
Yeah, call it casing, call it planning. And who knows if that's the only day. This could have been going on for days, weeks, even months. We don't know. That's why I think.
Let me stop it one more time, and then I'm going to let it play through. And if they get me, they get me. Tammy said a little while ago, crazy, probably knowing she wasn't home. So yeah, it's definitely someone she knows. Maybe they do have other videos of other nights that this guy has shown up. But here's what I want. This is what I want to be able to tell this guy who Brian's talking to, is that, yeah, maybe they're casing the place. Maybe they want to know which way the knobs turn and stuff like that. Well, why the hell did he forget to bring something to cover up the camera? If it's the same person, I mean, I think I would have had some tape on my hand or something that I could just tape up the camera really quick, and they wouldn't have had this long of a shot of me. So that's the problem that I have with the other person, whether he's the same person or not, is just casing the joint. Because if you're casing a joint, you're obviously going to tell yourself, oh, there's a fucking camera right there. All right. Noted. Right. And it could be the same night. It could, but same dude, same night. That's what double says. But the police came out and said that it was 2 different nights. Right? Or no, they said there's no timestamps on them. Everybody else is no. The sheriff did come out and say it was 2 different nights. He did. He walked that shit back. I'll find it if it's not, because there's been already a lot scrubbed from the internet. I don't know if you guys are paying attention, but there's a lot of shit that happened in the beginning. Maggie and I can't find it anymore. We cannot find it anymore. So there's that. So yeah, if this guy is so smart and he was casing the joint and he came back, he forgot the number one thing that he should be watching for, and that was a camera. Dumbass. Oh, but y'all don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, because he picked up some flowers, y'all. That's how smart he is. He got some flowers. And he was hiding the camera with the flowers. Yeah, that's some good, solid work right there.
Any metadata they can get from those pictures is incredibly important. It would have been nice to get that early on for the folks in the neighborhood, because you know, most people have cameras anymore. And I know at night, I'll usually look at mine the next day, look for usually animals or things like that. But if you knew you were looking for something specific, you can go back to that day. And, you know, if you've got thousands and thousands of segments on your camera, you're going to miss stuff. You're not going to pay attention. There's no difference between the 11th, 12th, or 13th.
Right.
So, you know, however that investigation is going on within the neighbors, because that's valuable to know, because then you have another chance to see a car. You've got another chance to see people on foot. All the little things that in the past 23 days might have been missed are just starting to come to light now, and going to have to backtrack, and that's maybe some wasted time.
It almost, to me, when I first heard this reporting,
hi Antonio,
I think, in a way, that he was here before.
Absolutely. Again, going back to this was done for a reason. It was planned. You know, someone walking down the street, looking up, seeing a dark house, oh, I'll go try and, you know, steal the VCR. That's okay, that's a dime a dozen. That's going to happen. It's probably not going to happen to most people. But yeah, I think this is much more frightening. This is, again, that made for TV movie where so many things are lining up. And, you know, again, that's not common. That's a target specific person.
Why do you think they didn't release this information? I mean, we found out now, but
I don't know. At some point, the investigators are going to have a reason to release it at any given time when what's going to help them most in the investigation. There are certain things, in my opinion, that it's probably better to get out sooner. Like if there was a picture of this dude's face somewhere, I would hope that would get out there. But you know, another picture on another day, I think if they know the date and they're holding back, there's a reason for it. But it seems almost insignificant at this point.
What stands out to you with the front of Nancy's house, despite what we've learned?
Yeah, well, even here looking at it, it's more open to me than I pictured in the initial video. There's a clear path. You can see clearly from the street all the way to at least the first security door. There's not a lot of brush, at least here, you know, over in the middle of the yard, there is more, but a clear view. I also see the security door, which tells me that there's 2 doors you have to get through to get inside, and the little alcove, but more open than what I thought in the video.
Yeah. And do you think he came right up, I guess, right up the driveway?
Probably.
Yeah.
Just knowing the neighborhood, if you're coming in from the backside or trying to cut through yards or anything, you're probably going to be seen, or at least, you know, some motion sensor lights are going to be popping off, and that's going to draw attention to you. Really, the easiest way in a neighborhood like this to not have much attention to you is just to park and walk up, especially if you're going to a specific location.
Let's walk down here. I wanted to, because there's a lot of lights here from the media and everything.
Sure.
But if we go up here, I think we can kind of get an idea for how dark it is. And you mentioned the moonlight makes a big difference here.
It really does, yeah.
Because when there's no moon, if there's cloud cover, is it darker?
No, it's actually lighter when there's cloud cover because you get the reflection, especially where we're at. We're higher than downtown Tucson. So as long as the clouds are higher than the city lights, it's actually brighter. So it's like a reflective effect.
So let's have Chris, our photographer, turn off the light for a minute. I just want to show how dark it is here. Kind of click it off, yeah. Because it is amazing. Like, it gets so dark. I mean, the stars are insane here.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But I guess, and again, we've got the light from, but if there was no, you know, light on from the,
yeah, all you're getting is any house lights that might be on, which looking around the neighborhood, there aren't a lot. Most people have motion sensor lights. So, you know, and something else to think about, if someone had come days before, you unscrew a light bulb, that might keep the motion sensors from going off as well. So a lot of things that could happen on that planning stage.
You can turn the light back on if you want, Chris. I guess this would be a neighborhood that if you were a bad guy wanting to do something like this would be the place to do it in the sense of the darkness.
Sure, but it's not uncommon, you know, in the Tucson area, especially these older neighborhoods like this that are more established, built in the 60s, 70s, and 80s before you got into more of the cookie cutter things. You know, you had bigger lots, a lot more natural vegetation and folks just kind of want a little more of their privacy. And that's why they move these. And to my understanding, they've been here for, you know, 40 years, I believe, a very long time. And yeah, it's easier to disappear very quickly in a neighborhood like this than it is in, say, the new residential type where you're close together and, you know, you got more lights.
So we're now more than 3 weeks into this. We've been talking to you for weeks now.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't expecting to be here this long. I was hoping it would be solved with the resources of the FBI. And I mean, did you think we would be at this point?
Initially, no. After a week or so, a week, 10 days, pushing that 2 weeks, then yeah, it's unusual. With the limited information that's being pushed out, my understanding, the limited information that any suspects are pushing out, you know, whether the TMZ ransom notes are legitimate, associated or not, there's just not a lot of that. And that's what's uncommon in this. So after probably 2 weeks, yeah, it's not real surprising to me at this point until there's a dramatic shift, because I'll say someone knows who this person is. They can tell by the way they walk, the way they look. If you saw someone you looked at every day, a family, like, oh, that's Joe, you know, in that video. Maybe they have a dollar amount in mind that they want on the reward side or whatever it might be, or maybe they just have the common human decency and a good heart to say, hey, this has gone on long enough. The family needs, you know, some closure, for lack of a better term. They need to bring their mom home. And, you know, let the sheriff's department and the FBI solve this case. Do
you think an increased reward would make a difference?
I think it will at some point. If you know, everyone has their dollar amount, I think. You know, it's unfortunate, you know, that they're not doing it for the right reasons, but if that helps, I think it could, you know.
Yeah. It's just weird thinking of that. Every time I walk by, just thinking that happened here.
Yeah.
You know, now there's so many people outside, but there's probably there's no one around.
Absolutely. You turn around, you look at that. That's what it was that night. Yeah. Complete darkness. You've seen how the foot traffic dies after sunset in the neighborhood. You know, the only reason people are walking after dark is to see you guys on the street. You go in any other little nook or cranny, there's going to be, from sunset to sunrise, there's not going to be any movement.
People always ask me, and you'd have a better sense, like, what are people in Tucson feeling right now about this?
I think what everybody else is, like, a little bit of shock. I'm sure there's a little bit more fear. You know, no one expects this to happen in their backyard. It's something that happens somewhere else. And now that it's happened here, I'm sure a lot of folks are a little more cautious, probably locking their doors more, making sure their cameras are, their batteries are charged and all those little things. Maybe they get subscriptions to, get some cloud coverage on all their devices. But, it's going to be like everything else. It's going to continue to go on. And then probably, I think you're already starting to see kind of business going back to normal for a lot of folks, because it's unfortunate. It's just frustrating too. It's like, I think most people.
Fact: most bras aren't made for real breast shapes. And if you've ever felt like no bra fits you right, it's not your body, it's the bra. Some boob,
to include the investigators, everyone watching it, yeah, it would have been solved by now. And it's tough that it's not. And I know that's kind of eating probably at the guys who are working it.
Yeah, I'm sure. There's always been, I felt this sense just from talking to people that, and even the sheriff, that the suspect or suspects could be from around here.
Mm-hmm.
And now I wonder, with this new information that the first photo is from days before, it also kind of leads you to believe that the person is in this area.
Yeah, yes and no. Because if you really start thinking about the stalker theory, this was geared towards Savannah, and this was a way to get to her and not necessarily Nancy. It was kind of a means to an end. You look at the shooting in Florida at Mar-a-Lago a day or so ago, whenever it happened. I think the dude came down from New York, or it wasn't a local person.
Yeah.
So that makes me start to think that if someone was latched onto this and it was, more, focused, maybe they did come from somewhere else. But then on the flip side of that, you'd have to be here for weeks or months, depending on how long you're here scouting the place out, looking at it. So it's really tough to tell. Initially, my gut was, yeah, it's a local person. Now knowing that there's a little more into it than just, even a random kind of going after a burglary or something, it's tough to say.
So with the light off, it's
Mm-hmm.
dark. We've got the light from the.
Yeah.
But if you turn this, walk up this way.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of lights from the porch and stuff, but
But yeah, you look off to the left of this cul-de-sac right here. It's a lot darker because you're not getting that ambient light from the patrol lights that are on down at the scene.
Yep.
And, with it being about a quarter moon right now, it's a dark night. You if that house light wasn't on, you'd have difficulty seeing probably about to where the brush starts over there with this type of moonlight, and you're not going to be able to make anything out. And you just step into the brush a little bit as a pedestrian, you're going to disappear.
Yeah.
Like I could just boom, and you're going to, what was that?
Show us can we go in just a little bit? I just want to show, because that show, if you just kind of go in just a little.
Yeah. You just kind of walk in, find a shadow, depending on how you're dressed, and you're just kind of gone.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And we're 15 feet from each other.
Yep.
And it's we have literally spotlights from the patrol vehicle down there on us.
Right.
You do it somewhere else, you're going to be gone.
Yeah, it would literally be pitch black if it wasn't for people around because of what happened. Wow.
They just look here to your left before your lights even get on it.
Yep.
There's nothing there to know. Okay, now.
Yeah, it's really dark in here. And all the hills too.
Mm-hmm.
It goes up and down.
There's so much terrain variation in here. Washes like this one we're going through. There's another one up here that years ago we worked a call where a shooting victim, we found him in this wash.
Really? Out here?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was luckily he survived. And we had the shooter in custody within about 8 hours. It was awesome. It was a great call. It's right down here to the left. But yeah, it's, if I kill the lights, just with the daytime runners on, things just disappear.
It's really dark. And that it's the law. It's an ordinance, right?
Yeah, it's a dark skies ordinance that it's for all the observatories up on the mountains and from the university. They just want to keep even though it's the street lights, they have diffusers, all the lights pushed down and not up, just so you can see the stars and the planets better.
Is this typically a quiet neighborhood?
Oh, super quiet.
Yeah.
I actually did a little online research of calls like in this subdivision, and I think the most recent one I could find online was from 2023. And I think there were 2 calls for service in between Orange Grove and Campbell, Skyline down to River.
For the whole year?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's nice, and that's why folks want to move here.
Because it's really quiet.
Yeah. And at the same time, it's a double-edged sword because you're not getting patrols through here too often. Like some guys will I'll hit this, try and drive through here, but I bet if a patrol unit was on this street within the last 3 months, I'd be surprised if it wasn't a call for service, just random driving through the neighborhood at night, throwing your alley lights on just to see what's going on.
There's not really, I guess there wasn't really a need for that.
No, which again is why folks move here.
So if the kidnapper was trying to get in and out of here, you kind of have to know your way, it seems like.
Absolutely. A lot of these streets just dead end, or take you to another street that loops around. So you have to have a pretty good understanding if you want to get out quick and not, you have the Austin Powers, 27-point turn to turn around when you hit a dead end, which again, if someone was coming in, days ahead of time or weeks ahead of time, one of the first thing I would do is have my route planned out very clearly. you know, just so I know how to get in and get out, not look suspicious.
And just turn your lights off again for a second. Yeah, I mean, even with, like you said, with your daytime running
Yeah,
lights,
I can't turn those off or I would.
It's really dark still.
That sense of it.
Wow.
And if you look, you know, most of the houses, you know, look to your left, look to your right, you can't even see the houses because they don't have any lights on right now, and it's only 8:40. You know, you can't even see where the houses are at.
And they're set back, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Really appreciate Bob for meeting with me and kind of giving me his opinion about all the latest developments. I wanted to show you guys before the end of this video I know I showed you guys a couple days ago, but there's even more flowers out here. It's really growing. Nancy, please come home. Bring Nancy home. Nobody is holding your mother's hostage. Your neighbors stand with you. Never give up hope. You can see they put some pictures on her mailbox. We pray for you, Savannah and family. A lot of candles, a lot of flowers. It's so sad. Let Nancy come home. It's never too late to do the right thing. Come home. Then there's this sign here. To Nancy's kidnapper, unintentional things happen, and we get that. Life is made up of choices. Please make the right one now. Give the Guthries hope with proof of life, or tell them where Nancy is so they can get her and end this nightmare on both sides. The Guthries and the whole country are counting on you. Prove to us you're human and do the right thing, which that sign is new. So it's interesting. A lot of people are, this is Mike Ruiz, by the way. My buddy Mike Ruiz from Fox Digital. But a lot of people are, you know, just sort of like pleading with whoever did this to just finally do the right thing. It's kind of similar to what Savannah has been saying in her videos and what she said in her new video. So I really hope that the $1 million reward will make a difference. I mean, it's a lot of money. You don't see a lot of rewards that high, as I was telling you earlier. So, you know, hopefully someone who knows something, someone who heard something, someone who's friends with the kidnapper, a family member who suspects someone in their family will do the right thing. I mean, they could get $1 million now plus the $200,000 reward from the FBI. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll keep you guys posted if there's any developments. I appreciate all your support and for subscribing.
All right, y'all, there's that. Melly Joe is on Be Back Later. TMZ Dammer says went silent, no more ransoms. I honestly stop all operations and let the individuals get comfortable, and then they'll talk and they can't help it. Well, TMZ, the last note or letter or whatever they got, they did say, they came out like the day afterwards and said that if they got anything else, they would not be putting it out there. I also have to correct something that I just heard them say that I somehow got wrong. I can still see where it was said, but and I can bring it up, but maybe I just read it wrong. I told you guys that Savannah, the family, the Guthrie family, had hired their own private eye, and in the same place that I saw that at, I saw that they had also hired their own security. Now, I automatically thought when they said their security, I thought they meant like at the house, for the house, because people were talking about how much resources were being spent on this case. Right after like that, everybody started talking about that is when it is said that they hired their own private investigator and that they got their own security. Now, since he's saying there's still a police security guard out there that's with the Pima County Sheriff's Department, and we saw the lights there. The only thing I can think of is that either what I read was wrong, or that when they're talking security for the family. So, irregardless, I said that the security that's there has been hired by the family, and obviously I was wrong about that. I want to reach out and let you guys know. I am not going to get it right every time either, and we try to. Sorry about my puppy in the background. He woke up. He's ready to play. I really do try to do my research and not bring bullshit and let you guys know when I am just giving you a theory or speculating or side-eyeing or something. But when I say something is fact, if it's not fact, I want you guys always to know that. Hey, Laramie, why are you fussing, buddy? he wants little girl to get up and little girl is in bed, and he's just barking at her. Prayers for the family. Precious Steel says. Mikey says someone's going to snitch if they haven't already. $1 million is a lot of money. They should go to the homeless meth head camps. That's a couple miles away from Nancy's house, and they will snitch. And he's right, you guys. Everybody has a price. Unfortunately, it's true. I have a price. I'm not kidding. It would probably be a whole hell of a lot less, but $1 million, I'd sing like a canary on every one of you. I'm not kidding. I'd be like, y'all, listen, I'll buy you a coffee later. Go on in there and do your time. But no, everybody really does have a price. And I knew that $100,000, $200,000 thing. No, that wasn't the price. $1 million. Yeah. Mikey says, he'd snitch out his mama for $1 million. You got that right. He wants to play. He does want to play. That's all he wants. Well, little girl got up and moved off the bed, and he went over and got on the bed. So maybe he just wanted to get the hell off the bed. I don't know. All right, guys. So here's what we can do. I have been on for nearly 2 hours. We could go ahead and watch the Nancy Grace that I haven't watched it yet. I heard it's a good one. It's from about 2 hours before I started my live. This was broadcasted. So if you guys want to watch that, I can stay on. We can watch it together. If you're done listening to my mouth, then I'll shut the hell up and I'll take my toys and go play with my dogs. So what do you guys think? Do you guys want to stick around? Do you want to watch it together? Maybe I should just watch it, and whoever doesn't want to be here then won't be here, because I'm going to watch it anyways. So, okay. All right. So that's two against everybody else. We're doing. So let's pull that up and let's watch this together. Those that don't stick around, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you so much. It means the world to me just to have people to talk to. It really does. You guys are my therapy. You're my people. And I appreciate you so much. I hate it that this is what we have to talk about, but we do a lot on this channel, not just true crime, which is quickly becoming mine and Maggie's thing. It's always been our thing. I just didn't think I just think it's a lot of work, and it's easier just to come on here and shit around with everybody. But anyways, I appreciate you guys being here. Do me a favor, if you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, just double tap your screen, no matter what phone you're on. I hear that it'll do magic things. So let's try that out. You have puppies, therefore you're a great human. Puppies are angels. God let us a part of them. I agree with you. I am a dog mom. I've got 3 golden retrievers. I've got a 6-year-old Newt. He's my second golden. My very first golden, Cheyenne, passed away 2 years ago. And so we've got Newt. He's my baby. He's pretty much everybody's baby here. Everybody knows Newt. And then we've got little girl. She is 3. And then we just got a puppy. He just turned 4 months old. And boy, are we ever having it. All right. So there you go. If you guys, there's a couple shorts up. Maggie just put a short up about my dogs like 2 days ago or something. So there's shorts up there, and I've also done lives with my dogs in them and stuff like that. So there's plenty of places to see them, and they are my babies. We want to stay with Lainey and Lizzo. Is Liz here? All righty. Let's go ahead and play this. Let's get it started. She sounds a lot better than I do. I love me some Nancy Grace, y'all. Let's hear for Nancy Grace. I couldn't stand this woman when I was younger. Now that I'm older, I totally understand her, because I'm very sarcastic and I'm getting bitchier as I get older. So I totally get her. She's just a bitchy old coot, you guys. But I think she's phenomenal. I do. And she's a take no shit person, and that's the way I am too. All right. Our source is Nancy Grace, guys. This is called day 24. We're now into day 25. I cannot believe it ago. And it's already 9 hours into this. So you may or may not have seen this. If you haven't, stick around with us. Let's watch it together. I'll only stop it a couple of times, you guys, and let's make sure that we've got it on a faster speed. Yep. 125. Okay. All right, here we go. Oh, silly me, guys. Silly me. Share screen. All right, here we go. Do I love me some Nancy Grace? I'm not going to lie. One day I'm going to be her friend. She's going to be my friend. She doesn't even know I'm her friend. That's what's disturbing. She doesn't know how much I adore her.
And every long night has been agony since then of worrying about her and fearing for her and aching for her. And most of all, just missing her. Just missing her. We know that millions.
Y'all, the FBI is in the house. Y'all say hello to Jay Brad. Not lying to you in the least. Jay Brad is a retired FBI agent of 20 years. I've got the proof. She's a good friend of mine, and she's a great resource to this channel, especially when we're talking about stuff like this. So shout out to JB. We love you so much. Thank you for being here. And anybody else that came into chat that I didn't see yet. Thanks for being here, guys.
Of you have been praying. So many people have been praying of every faith and no faith at all, praying for her return. And we feel those prayers. Please keep praying without ceasing. We still believe. We still believe in a miracle. We still believe that she can come home. Hope against hope. As my sister says, we are blowing on the embers of hope. We also know that she may be lost. She may already be gone. She may have already gone home to the Lord that she loves and is dancing in heaven with her mom and her dad and with her beloved brother Pierce and with our daddy. If this is what is to be, then we will accept it. But we need to know where she is. We need her to come home. For that reason, we are offering a family reward of up to $1 million for any information that leads us to her recovery. All of the information about this reward and the details is in the caption below. You can call the 1-800-TIP line. You can be anonymous if you want. Someone out there knows something that can bring her home. Somebody knows. And we are begging you to please come forward now. I'm begging you. We also know that we are not alone in our loss. We know there are millions of families that have suffered with this kind of uncertainty. And for that reason today, we also are donating $500,000 to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children for their work in helping families who are coping with loss and actively looking for those who are lost. We are hoping that the attention that has been given to our mom and our family will extend to all the families like ours who are in need and need prayers and need support. So please, if you hear this message, if you've been waiting and you haven't been sure, let this be your sign. So please come forward, tell what you know, and help us bring our beloved mom home so that we can either celebrate a glorious, miraculous homecoming or celebrate the beautiful, brave, and courageous and noble life that she has lived. Please be the light in the dark. Thank you.
After watching Savannah, it's really hard to go forward analyzing facts and evidence as we know them tonight.
Oh my God, you guys, Nancy's crying. I can't do this. I've never seen Nancy cry real fake. I mean, real tears. Is she really crying? Oh my God, where's Maggie? Oh, Nancy's crying. Oh, my heart.
Her heartbreak and her composure is overwhelming. It is day 24. Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy Guthrie, missing. I've prosecuted, investigated, and tried a lot of cases, more than I can even count. I've covered 100 times that many, and I've never seen anything like it. Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us. Every trial lawyer, if they're a good trial lawyer, somehow compartmentalizes and tries the case and moves forward with a clear and concise analysis of the evidence in order to get a true verdict. And that is sometimes very, very hard. I want to analyze what we're hearing from Savannah herself before I go on to the evidence that we're learning about tonight. Number one,
you guys, I have to stop it every now and then just for copyright issues, but I want to answer Mike real quick. What's the copyright thing? So anytime you're playing somebody else's content, you're supposed to stop it like every few seconds and speak through it and comment through it and stuff like that, so you don't make it your own. YouTube really doesn't bother me too much with it. There's a couple copyrights I've gotten just saying I couldn't monetize it, but I don't monetize this stuff anyways. So I'm not worried about it. And I think that's probably why I don't get struck, because I'm not monetizing it. So I'm not making any money on it at all. So you have to like float it in your chat. You have to speak on the disclaimer, and as much as you can do that, it saves people from getting a copyright strike, because if you get 3 of them, you're gone. Peaches says, Nancy, disgrace, anything for clicks. Exit stage right. Nancy Grace is awesome. We love her here. You can't talk about Nancy. Now, listen, I just have to let you guys know, if I love you, I'm going to make fun of you. It's just how I am. If I don't have much to say to you, if I'm not making fun of you and making fun of myself and doing all that, I just really don't care one way or another. I make fun of Nancy all the time. It's something I have to do because I adore her. So I just want to take bets on how many times Nancy's going to mention her twins tonight. I'm going to say 1 time mentioning her twins on this broadcast, and I'm going to say 3 times mentioning her deceased fiance. And I say that with a lot of love, you guys, because it's just funny. All right. Hi, Richie. Rochelle, that's what it is. Rochelle, nice to see you. Thank you for coming in. Hi, Lee. I mostly due to the nightmares unimaginable for the family. I now have enormous respect for Savannah. Me too. I don't think she's involved at all, but that brother-in-law of hers. All right, you guys, listen up. Seriously. 1 time mentioning the twins, 3 times mentioning the deceased fiance. Here we go. Count them up.
Straight out to Dr. Bethany Marshall joining us, renowned psychoanalyst out of the LA jurisdiction. Dr. Bethany, she's making it very clear that her family is upping the reward to up to $1 million in addition to the FBI award, that reward, $202,000. But she makes it clear, in my understanding, that they recognize, this tastes like dirt in my mouth, that Mrs. Guthrie could have passed on. And this, as she quotes Thessalonians, asking everyone to pray without ceasing. Do you understand it the way I understand it, Dr. Bethany? She is saying that they have confronted the possibility their mom may have passed on and is with their dad and their uncle now, but yet still offering a $1 million reward and donating, at this time thinking of other people, donating $500,000 to National Center for Missing Exploited Children. But are you reading it as I am reading it? Are you interpreting it the same way, Dr. Bethany?
Mom's alive. She's going to come back. Anger towards the kidnappers. And then there's the bargaining phase. If we do this, mom will come home. If we were just better citizens, she'll return to us. So they've gone to the acceptance stage, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and then acceptance. They're also people of faith, Nancy. They're profoundly spiritual, and they believe she's with them, whether she's in heaven or she's alive here on earth. But there's another factor, Nancy. This family, I believe, has considered the fact that the kidnappers will not go forward if she is deceased or if she died in the process of a kidnap. And they want to incentivize those kidnappers to come forth with information, even if their mother is gone. And Nancy, one final thing is so profound. This family has the capacity for deep, deep empathy. When you're depressed and anxious, all you can think about is yourself. That's part of the human experience. not this family. They are thinking about missing and exploited children and other families who have gone through something similar. That tells me something about their character and their capacity to love.
Well, I hear what you're saying and what Savannah is saying about acceptance. I'm not accepting anything. I'm not accepting until somebody tells me Mrs. Guthrie has passed on. This is a kidnap case. We have not found a body. We have not gotten a hit from a cadaver dog. We can all speculate what may have happened. And maybe many people believe that Miss Guthrie passed on early on, and that's why proof of life has not been offered. I understand that reasoning, but I am not accepting that it's too late to save her life. So that's my mission. That's the avenue down which I am proceeding. But I find it overwhelming that at a time like this, Savannah and her family are thinking of other people. She goes on to not only offer the $500,000 to missing exploited children, but she recognizes what other people are going through and that they are suffering too, and that she can identify with that suffering. For those of you just joining us, Savannah Guthrie, and you can see her getting tireder, more tired, in all of her missives, more broken, more haggard, more exhausted. And we're practically going through the process with her. When it first started and she was flanked by her brother and sister, then enduring claims by the media and others that the family is somehow responsible for Mrs. Guthrie's kidnap, the days stretching into weeks. We have lived through that with her as we watch her begging the public that reward again tonight. The FBI reward $200,002, nearly $250,000 now. The Guthries adding $1 million, up to $1 million. For Pete's sake, if you know anything about Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, a mother and a grandmother, this is the time to come forward. And now we turn our attention, which for many of us is more comfortable to do than to be in that place of pain and suffering with Savannah, and turn our attention to the positive analysis of the facts. In the last hours, overnight, the theory has emerged, and we have addressed it here, I think possibly first, about the possibility that the perp has been in the neighborhood on an earlier date, that there is a second perp, but we can't tell all of this because the timestamps have been removed. They could not be salvaged. When Google went through the scratching process, trying to, out of literally trillions of data points, find Nancy Guthrie's door cam and resurrect it, like Lazarus, for Pete's sake, resurrect it from the dead so we could see the perp. Okay, straight out to Crime Stories, investigative reporter Dave Mack with the latest. What's the theory? I understand the part of the working theory as that this perp, the door guy, the porch guy, was in the neighborhood casing Nancy Guthrie's home before the night of the kidnap. Okay, explain that analysis to me. Explain what we think.
All right, Nancy, the reason that thought process is being brought up is because we have two very different photos of what appears to be the same person. In the one, we have him with his backpack on and the holster hanging down in front. That's where this alleged kidnapper is standing right in front of the Nest camera and trying to put the weeds on it. But then we also have this other photo that is in a similar looking size and shape of the Nest camera guy at the door, but he doesn't have the backpack and he doesn't have the holster. This is something that our team had separated early on, and it's like everybody now is just catching up. But we've been talking about this for over a week now, and yet there is no timestamp.
Okay, before we begin patting ourselves on the back, I think the FBI and Google were a little bit ahead of us, Dave Mack. But I want to analyze the two photos. Put them side by side, please, because a working theory now, are these photos on the same date? Are they different dates? And the significance is, did the perp approach the home of Nancy Guthrie on a previous date to case it? Now, look on the right. What clues do we see? Obviously, number one, he's not wearing a backpack. He is not wearing his holster. He appears to be wearing the same pants and jacket, the same ski mask, but notice on the right, the rocks on the ground are in a different configuration. We know Nancy Guthrie had a yard person. Were those rocks removed? Were they somehow repositioned? And he is there on a different date. The lighting is different in the background. We see lights from apparently another home across the street. We are looking at the clues just like law enforcement and everyone else. Do you see something different in the background to indicate this is from an earlier date? Now, back out to Dave Mack joining us. Dave Mack, Crime Stories investigative reporter. There are no timestamps on this, so we can't tell. Do we have any idea if this is allegedly connected to the night that neighbors were asked to look through their door cams, look through their surveillance video? I believe it was January 11. Is that a working theory that the perp was skulking on January 11?
That was the date that neighbors were asked to look over their surveillance video at their homes. It was September 11th between 9 p.m. and midnight. That's a 3-hour swath of time they're looking at. And now that you look at the separate photo, Nancy, if they were looking ahead of time, you're only talking a couple of weeks. I mean, it seems like a long time now, but really you're talking 3 weeks before the alleged kidnapping took place. And is this photo that we're looking at now without the backpack and without the gun, is that what we're seeing on somebody else's surveillance video that investigators are trying to find? Was this an earlier date? There is no timestamp. There is no date. So we're left with really just speculation at this point. Could have been taken the day of. It could have been taken later. Did the perpetrator have help? You know, did he?
All right, guys, I have to stop it just to keep my channel. I'll be very brief. Holly says, hi, Holly. Thank you so much for being here. She says, there is no thumbs up to touch. If you're already in the live, you're not going to see it. So if you would just double tap your screen, it should just pop up a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much. Just double tap your screens really fast. It takes 2 seconds, doesn't cost you anything, but it does so much for the channel. And that's all I ask of you guys. I don't ask for nothing else. Zero. I don't need nothing else from you guys. If you would just double tap the screen for me, I appreciate it. Hi, Jeanette. So good to see you. Connie, so good to see you. Thanks, everybody. Elle says it's on the top. Thanks, Elle. Elle or Ellie. I like the name Elle, to tell you the truth. I really do. All right, let me, she says it's on the top. I'm over in StreamYard, so I can't see it. Maybe I could look up on my phone, though.
Take the backpack off and put it in the car. I mean, we really can go anywhere.
Hold on. Now you're going down a different avenue. Hold on. Okay, I see what you're saying. Did he have help? If this was on different dates, that opens up the evidence in a major way. Straight out to Scott Eicher joining us, digital forensics expert, former homicide with Norfolk, Virginia PD, 12 years, founding member of the FBI Cellular Analysis Survey team. That's who's responsible for coming up with the digital data we've gotten so far. Once Nanos allowed the feds in, that was an unfortunate delay. But not only that, Eicher contacted CAST about using the Bluetooth Blue Fly technology to try and find Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker. It started on a helicopter, it moved to a drone, and that went on for some time. Scott, contacted them with that suggestion. Scott, why were the date and timestamps removed from this video? Because if they weren't, we would know a lot more tonight.
It would be great if we had the date timestamps on the video, but you got to remember the Guthrie family did not have a subscription to Nest. And in doing so, that data was not sent to their phones with a date and timestamp. So it was basically sent from the camera to the cloud. And then CAST was able to talk to Google, which we have a relationship in the past with dealing with other stuff, and have them kind of dig into, to scrape all that data to try to get down to these videos that we are seeing. Problem is, there's no dates and timestamps on them. So there is a lot of speculation on when these two different camera shots were made. And we know that the sheriff has said, you know, don't make any speculations about this at this point in time.
Thank you, ladies, for checking that out for me. It was Cheryl and Kelly, the three dots. Thank you guys so much, because I didn't know nothing about that. So there's 3 dots at the top of your screen. Click those, and if the double tap doesn't work, and then give me a like. That's all I ask you guys. Thank you so much. I know some people tell me their Samsung or their Android works. I know iPhones work that way because I have one, and that's how I do mine. Some of the people in chat are saying that they have a Samsung that works. Maybe it's just because Lulu's out of the country. I'm not sure. Holly says, got it. Thanks. The sum is on its way. It's just very hard to see. I learned I could double tap too, though. Thank you. No, thank you. That means so much to me. That and just coming in and chatting, that means the world to me. The world. Must be my Aussie version. Yeah, I think so too. You know, that Aussie version. They don't show when downloaded. Yeah, but you could see the likes on the bottom of the screen. So it does show how many likes we have at the end of the stream. And then if you're on your phones or whatever, you could see down at the bottom how many likes you have. I think that's what you mean. 554 sleep. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you guys. Holly says, okay, 3 ways to thumbs up. Well,
okay, so wait, please. Before we start dragging Nanos into this and all of his observations, could you tell me, in regular people talk, Iker, were the date and timestamps scratched off in the process of reviving this video, or were they never there?
I don't know for sure. I suspect that the camera is connected to Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi information is immediately sent to the cloud via the internet, and then it's logged in and then sent to the subscriber if they had a subscription. Somewhere in that aspect where they didn't have a subscription, it didn't get a date and time. So thus we can't be specific on when those cameras were activated.
So you're thinking it never had a date and time stamped on it, not that it was lost in the scratching process. It's actually neither here nor there. I was just curious because you're the first person to explain the scratching process about when things are, video is taped over. It's like peeling away paint. You scratch. And if you're trying to get to level 4 and you're on 5, you don't want to scratch off level 4. You got to be very, very meticulous. Also joining us, in addition to Dave, Mack, Scott, Iker, and Dr. Bethany, Chris McDonough is with us tonight. He is a seasoned homicide investigator. He is the star of the Interview Room on YouTube, and he
just have to stop it again, y'all. We'd be loving us some Chris McDonough around here. I think Maggie loves Chris McDonough more than she loves Nancy Grace. That's all I'm going to say. I don't love Chris McDonough that much, but Maggie does. I mean, he is her man. 99 likes. Forgive me. We just need one more. It's free. Just hit it one time for me. Thank you so much. Man, that's awesome. Thank you, guys.
He has over 300 homicide investigations under his belt. Okay, neither you nor I are digital forensic experts, but we've solved a lot of cases through good old-fashioned detective work and common sense. What's your take, McDonough? What is your take? Was this the same night and the guy approaches without a backpack? Then he goes back and gets the backpack and approaches with it, the backpack. I mean, does that make sense? Maybe. Or is he skulking on 2 different dates?
Yeah, so if we start with the premise like you're discussing here, Nancy, about looking at the 2 photographs as a whole, the first thing that strikes me is in the video, when he's walking up to the property, you can clearly see there's a backlit illumination of some sort. And so,
Control room, please play the video as McDonough is speaking. Okay, go ahead, Chris. Thank you.
That's right. And so you can clearly see that there's some type of light source behind him. And that night, as he's approaching the porch, you can see a shadow on the ground. So I looked that up, and it was there right there. You can see the shadow. That means it was a full moon that evening. Okay. And I looked it up, and in fact, it was. And so the second now, if we look at the second photograph of the gentleman standing, at the archway there, we don't see that behind him backlit like that. We don't see a shadow being cast onto the sidewalk as he's standing there right there. And you see it's also much darker behind him. So that would lead me towards, from an investigative analysis aspect of this is possible. It could be 2 nights, 2 separate nights. Now, like Scott has said, we don't know that for sure. However, from an investigative analysis aspect, investigators are looking at this and going, okay, why is it so dark behind him here? And then that other video, why is it not so dark at that point? Because it appears it could have been 2 separate nights. The most disturbing piece,
let me throw a possibility into your scenario.
Absolutely.
We know that a floodlight was disabled. When he approaches, and it's very well lit in the background, as you were pointing out, Chris, if the floodlight was taken out, let's just say he goes, okay, I'm going to get rid of the floodlight. What if, could that possibly explain the lack of light in the other photo as opposed to the waxing waning moon? I'm just throwing that out there as a possibility.
It's always a possibility, Nancy, but you see the infrared is responding to the light in this particular video here. And you see he's even turning on his light. So he's having a hard time, seeing exactly, what's in front of him at this moment. So, but I think if these are two separate times, hypothetically, at this point, the most disturbing part of this, if they are separated, is he came the second time armed and prepared to use deadly force. That is an uptick in his behavioral pattern.
We are carefully reviewing the evidence over and over and over. I want to follow up. Dave Mack, we have heard from Nanos and others, possibly Patel. What are they saying about the theory that the porch guy was there on a previous occasion skulking?
If you want to be proud of your body by summer, on Monday, February 23rd, we start Tai Chi walking for women over 45.
Well, they're saying that everything is speculation, Nancy, that with no timestamp, with no proof of anything, everything is purely speculation. So we're left with that. So no conclusion being drawn from investigators at this time. But you can clearly see, as Chris McDonough just pointed out, there's a lot to go through on these videos and on the clip.
Hi guys, Nancy Grace here. Between the grocery store and insurance premiums, even with a steady job, more families are being forced to rely on high interest credit cards just to cover expenses. If you're a homeowner carrying balances with interest rates in the 20s, it's time to get relief. American Financing is helping homeowners pay off debt at rates in the low 5s. On average, their salary-based mortgage consultants are saving customers $800 a month. Plus, if you start today, you may even delay your next 2 mortgage payments. There are no upfront fees. America's home.
You're going to get me fired. Okay. Y'all, I lost you guys for a minute. I was playing with the dogs, and next thing I knew, I had exited out of my screen. Oh, dear Jesus. All right,
Financing.net/Nancy. And good luck. Also tonight, evidence that on the very same night Nancy Guthrie goes missing, around the same time in the early wee hours between 2 and 3 a.m., a 911 call was made about a woman screaming from a car. Listen.
10-4, it's going to be Oracle and River. The caller is advising they saw a female out of a vehicle window screaming. Then it went northbound on Oracle. The vehicle was a dark gray or blue Chevy Malibu, no plate. Advised that the female was hanging out of the window wearing all black, and the door was also open.
Okay, cover me up right there. Okay, because I was looking off to the side, please. Okay, I'm gonna listen to it one more time. Guys, I don't want to miss a single word. Let's hear that one more time.
10-4, it's going to be Oracle and River. The caller is advising they saw a female out of a vehicle window screaming. Then it went northbound on Oracle. The vehicle was a dark gray or blue Chevy Malibu, no plate. Advised that the female was hanging out of the window wearing all black, and the door was also open.
Straight out to Crime Stories investigative reporter Dave Mack. I found this on Twitter, X, from our viewers sending in ideas, theories, photos. What do you know about this, Dave Mack?
Well, Nancy, this dispatch recording came from February 1st, but at 2:01, between 2 a.m. 2:01 a.m. and 2:04 a.m. This is at the exact same time we believe the kidnapper or kidnappers were in the home with Nancy Guthrie. Again, 2:01 to 2:04. And by the way, this is about 3 miles from Nancy Guthrie's house. So we've got a car with no plates. Now, who drives a car with no plates, right? You've got a woman screaming out the window. And beyond that, the door actually is open as well. Like she's trying to jump out. She's wearing all black. We know this is taking place at the exact same time of the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping, 2:01 to 2:04 a.m., February 1st. That's what we know, 3 miles from her house.
Is it connected? We don't know, but it's close to her home around the time she was taken. We can't really discount anything. Would you agree with that, Chris McDonough?
Yeah, absolutely, Nancy. I mean, you have to check the box and interview that 911 caller and really narrow down what her observations were. And then there are, you could look at the potential cameras in the area. There's some systems there that you could view pretty clearly.
To Scott Eicher, how do you separate what is important and what is not? I mean, you really have to follow every lead down, including this.
Yeah, I've worked in these type command posts before, and it's just a flood of leads. So you have a triage team that's trying to pull out what they think is important, send investigators out to handle right now, and something like this would be one of those in my mind. Hey, you got someone screaming, it's around the same time, whether it's connected or not, we need to go check it out. So you get the tape, interview the caller, see if the officers were able to find that individual. Was it related? Was it not? So thousands of things like this are taking a lot of time for the investigators to work through.
Question back to you, Dave Mack. Wasn't there evidence of law enforcement looking at a vehicle from a nearby Circle K?
There was, Nancy. Law enforcement was investigating. There's a Circle K near Nancy Guthrie's home. Law enforcement went there to try to retrieve video recordings, surveillance video from the parking lot of a dark blue or gray colored vehicle. Those were the basic facts. And we do know that law enforcement was able to obtain surveillance video from another Circle K, this one a little further away from Nancy's, but between her home and the home of Annie, her daughter, where they did retrieve surveillance video focusing on a very specific vehicle.
And I want to circle back one more time to the perp on the front porch. The January 11th date is the day that law enforcement asked neighbors to look at their video, to look at their home surveillance video. And there is a theory that the second perp skulking date was around January 11. And I think that is what is lending to a lot of speculation that the kidnapper had been to her home before. If he had been there before, to you, Chris McDonough, that would open up a wide variety of investigative possibilities. Video of that day, cell phone data of that day, license plates of that day, a lot more evidence if we could establish he had been there before. Agree or disagree?
No, totally agree, Nancy. You're 1,000% correct. And it also helps in the investigation to understand that this guy has concealed himself before the event. That's what we would call pre-event incident behavior, right? And then we have pre-behavior, incident behavior, post-behavior. And this would tell us a lot about his digital footprint that Scott can tell us more than we could possibly imagine here. But it would give the investigators a really good opportunity to open this thing up. Because the other thing, if you start looking at some of the other Ring camera videos of the burglaries, and I think there's like a couple thousand burglaries in the Tucson area around that time frame. Notice most of those guys that are doing this are not wearing masks. Okay. And so that's kind of a really big indicator in this guy's behavior pattern. And that would move us forward to putting him on the porch the night of Nancy's abduction.
I'm just thinking back on that $1 million reward that the Guthries are putting up. For Pete's sake, to you, Iker, you've handled a lot of cases in homicide in Norfolk, Virginia. It's always the girlfriend, the wife, the ex, the grandma, the mother, the next door neighbor lady that notices something odd, something unusual, and comes forward. Just with $1 million on the table, don't you think that will make a difference, Iker?
I do think it'll make a difference. Everybody has their price. Everybody has to kind of evaluate how it is going to affect them if they come forward. So you got to take that into account, that $1 million is going to help you, and you can stay anonymous. But you got to remember that these people are scared. Whether they're involved or not, or know something, they're going to be scared. And I think Savannah's plea to them was just heartfelt. I think it was just showing them that, hey, it can be okay if we just give Nancy back to us.
American homeowners, the FBI has been warning about that was found was not connected in any way, as we had deduced here on HomeTitleLock.com. Promo code Nancy, or just use the link below, and good luck. Also, we are learning tonight that the backpack that was found was not connected in any way, as we had deduced here on Crime Stories when we first heard about it. It was just, for me, it was just too close to a homeless embankment. So obviously the law enforcement has figured out who it belongs to and ruled that out. Now, to the DNA, joining us, a real expert in the field, Susanna Ryan. She's a laboratory director of forensics DNA analyst at Pure Gold Forensics. She is a forensic DNA consultant at Ryan Forensics. And believe it or not, she's been in the DNA business for over 25 years. Susanna Ryan, thank you for being with us tonight. First of all, I want to talk to you about the bloody glove and the rock that were found by a couple. I want to talk to you about How do you get DNA off of a rock that has been out in the elements, and will that affect getting a DNA match, if possible?
Certainly, being out in the elements can have an effect, a detrimental effect on DNA. We do know that things like heat and humidity, exposure to rain, those can, or any other kind of moisture, can degrade DNA. So it can start to break down the DNA molecule, which makes it more difficult for us to be able to then go back to it and copy those segments of the DNA. If it was indeed blood on a rock, I would expect a large amount of DNA to be present in the blood. We do know body fluids tend to have lots of DNA. So that, you could probably just swab the rock. If this is something they think a very small amount of blood is present, or they think this rock was somehow touched or handled, then I would consider using something called the MVAC, a wet vacuum method of collecting DNA. It's really good at collecting from porous surfaces, something like a rock where the liquid that's being sprayed down can get into all those cracks and crevices and then be collected and tested.
Wow, I hadn't thought of a wet vac. Thank you. Susanna, I also want to talk to you about the newly discovered DNA inside the Guthrie home. I don't mean new DNA that was just deposited there. I mean newly discovered when the feds came in after local authorities had already searched the home. Will every person that had worked on the case and been in the home, since there was a time lapse, several days, if not a week, before the feds were finally invited in. That was an unfortunate delay. That said, will each one of those people have to be ruled out by giving their own DNA to compare to the newly discovered DNA? How does that work?
I think that would be a good idea, just because we know that so many people have been in and out of the home to, process the scene, collect DNA, and as careful as they probably are, this is not, saying anything against them as investigators, but no matter how careful you are, it is possible to transfer your own DNA inadvertently. Even if you're wearing gloves, you happen to touch your face, then you touch something else, you could get your DNA on that item. So if they're getting DNA profiles and they are unknowns, they have the family members, people that they know were in the home, they've ruled all of those people out, it would definitely be a good idea before they spend a lot of time, money, and effort to try to identify an unknown person, that they rule out everyone who has been an investigator in that home that could potentially have touched or contaminated an item. So I think they probably have a database, an internal database of people who have been in the home. They can quickly compare any unknown profiles to that sort of internal database. And if they are left still with an unidentified profile, then that's what they're going to want to focus on and spend their time, money, and effort on trying to identify that person.
So to Suzanne's point, I've noticed that floor mat, that welcome mat into the front door is still there. The authorities need to go get that mat, because you watch that suspect, he is standing in that video on that mat. And what Suzanne's talking about, the MVAC.
Oh my God. Did y'all hear that? I have been bitching about the mat since day one, and nobody has listened to me. Oh, Chris Madonna, thank you so much for validating that I have something to say too. He walked all over the damn floor mat. I'm obsessed with the doormat. And they left it there. He could have transferred DNA to it. We don't know, but you left the fucking doormat. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm finally hearing somebody else talk about the doormat. Oh, they're going to listen to Chris now. You guys, I'm not going to get any credit for this shit. Damn it. I'm just kidding. But serious? I've been bitching about, I've been so obsessed with the damn doormat. I can't stand it. Everybody's tired of hearing me talk about the damn doormat.
You could actually pull DNA potentially from his shoes, and keep me in the right lane here, Suzanne, that, if he's got some type of transfer, it could still be on that mat on the front porch. So Savannah needs to get that mat, or at least get the authorities to go grab that mat at the front.
What about it, Susanna?
Yeah, so yes, I would have concerns about the amount of DNA, number of contributors. When you're walking around, you've got DNA that you're picking up, that you're constantly transferring. Now, if he's standing on there for a while and he's got that flashlight in his mouth and he's looking down and maybe some saliva comes out, that's where, perhaps then we have one contributor that's a little bit more. So we have someone that we can pull out and isolate from all the other sort of background DNA, the other contributors. So, I mean, certainly in a case like this, where it seems like they're testing just about everything, then yes, I am surprised that they didn't collect that. It did seem, at one point we talked about the plants, the vegetation that he held in his hand. It seemed like that was outside for an extended amount of time as well. So it doesn't mean that it's too late to test. But
the vegetation is still on the fucking mat. Who's this lady? I forget her name. Whoever you are, lady, the vegetation that you're talking about that he tried to cover, it's still on the mat. It's all dried out. It's on the mat that's been left there. That's been contaminated now because everybody's been walking on it. Everybody's been walking on it. And I'm going to say this because I'm going to forget by the time this is over in 2 minutes. They collected the DNA from the house. We got that. We understand. There's DNA in the house. Then they come out and they say, well, we can clear Nancy and all of Nancy's circle from the DNA that we found in the house. Now we don't have enough DNA to put into CODIS. So are you telling me you used all that DNA just to exclude Nancy and her family, and now we don't have enough to put into CODIS or make a Y'all, come on, y'all.
But the sooner you can get these items, the better. So yes, could be tested for sure.
And also another issue that has come up. Isn't it true, Dave Mack, that now volunteer searchers are searching in defiance of Nana's telling them to stop?
Yep. Nancy, they actually have organized where they're meeting at a local retail establishment in the parking lot, and they're planning where they're going to go search. They even went to an area they call Underground Tucson. It's an area of tunnels that, the type of tunnels with the drains in them where homeless people take shelter at night. And these areas are less than 2 miles from Nancy Guthrie's home. It happens to be where the abandoned backpack was found, but these volunteers are doing this against what the sheriff is wanting because they're trying to help. They just want to bring Nancy home, and they're just tired of not seeing the action they expected from a search standpoint in the area just around Nancy Guthrie's home.
Hi guys, Nancy Grace here. Please join us on Crime Stories.
It's funny to hear Nancy talk faster. Mikey says, I'll bet the suspects have come back to the scene, maybe brought flowers or stopped by and took pictures. Wouldn't that be sick? Wouldn't that be sick? But I mean, there's nothing sicker than taking a woman out of her bed. Connie said they said it wasn't viable DNA. So how did they clear anybody? Girlfriend, we're reading on the same page. I think they just don't think about what they're telling us. And I think they don't think that any of us are going to grasp what they're saying and say, hey, that's not making any sense whatsoever. Like, tell that to somebody else. We watch enough true crime to be able to handle this. You know what I mean? And nobody's talking. Nobody's coming out and explaining that. I don't understand. Yeah. See, there's homeless meth head camps around. Yes, and there's also an Indian reservation there, you guys. And look, I'm not calling out the Indians or anything else, but nobody should be excluded. They should have already gotten a court order to go on the reservation, because we know that Indian reservations are governed by themselves. They have their own police department. We don't govern them. They govern themselves. They have their own laws and stuff like that. So in order for us to go on and do any kind of investigating on a reservation, it has to be court ordered. Why they haven't done it yet, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That's why I'm starting to believe since last night's live, you guys, that I think they already know. I think they already know who did it. They just don't know where Nancy's at, and they're waiting for him to slip up. And that's why right now the money's they told him to go ahead and drop the money, because just if you look at Savannah's, her interviews or her messages that she's put out over the couple of weeks, and then listen to stuff that's coming out, and all of the little bits of news that we're getting here and there, and not letting them do any research and searching and bringing in the dogs longer and all of this, and the sheriff telling, people, do not be searching, you need permits to go on certain properties, don't be, that to me just screams to me now that they know exactly who it is, and they just don't have enough to get them on. That's my theory. Let's finish this and then
and stream it first on Fox 1 when breaking crime news develops. And sources from within the case itself. Stay on top of the nation's biggest trials with us, including gavel-to-gavel coverage with real-time analysis. Crime Stories with Nancy Grace. Stream it first on Fox 1. I hope to see you there, and thank you, friend. The reward is now over $1 million, combined with the already in place reward of $202,000. That is $1.2 million, up to $1.2 million. If you know or think you know anything about the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, please dial toll-free 800-225-5324. Repeat, 800-225-5324. Or if you wish to remain anonymous, 520-882-7463. 520-882-7463. A $1+ million reward. Thank you to our guest tonight, but especially to you.
What says y'all? I mean, it is a damn mess. It is. And yes, I believe that the sheriff there is incompetent completely. But at this stage in the game, I believe that they know that she is dead and they know who did it. They just haven't found her body and they don't have enough. And I think when it's all said and done, if it gets said and done, God, please let it get said and done. There's going to be more than just the people you see on the ring cam. I really believe that. Have they asked the Cajun Navy? They're coming in tomorrow, so we hear. The Cajun Navy is supposed to come in tomorrow. They are better than the cops. That will be interesting, you guys. If we're not live, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and tune into JLR because he will be out there. And he will have lots of footage with the Cajun Navy. So I'm excited about it. I had actually forgot about it until Jamie said it in chat. So I'm going to look it up just to verify and make sure. But if we are not live tomorrow, which we may not be live during the day, I'll be live tomorrow night. If we're not live during the day tomorrow, y'all be watching JLR because I guarantee you he's going to have the footage about them being out there. Wayne says she's buried. I don't know if she's buried or not. I think she's in the Mexican desert though. BV says I don't think she's alive. Greg says Fox #1, what is truth and what's false propaganda? Nancy Grace opinion question. I think you need some kind of discernment. I think discernment is different for everybody. People believe automatically that it's fake because it comes over the news. Someone may not like the person reporting, so automatically it must be fake. Some people like the person reporting, so automatically they believe it. I think it's a discernment, and you have to make up your own decision. What's false and what's the truth? I think people need to use their common sense. That's what I think it's about. I don't think it's about as much about for us that are looking in with not many factual clues to this. I think using your common sense is probably the best tool that any of us have that aren't privy to any more than what we already privy to. All right, guys, you know what? That's going to be it for me. I'm done. We've been on for almost 3 hours. I appreciate you guys being here. You have no clue what it feels like to be able to come and go live and know there's going to be people in the chat that are just chatting it up, and we may not agree on everything, and we may not have the same theories about whatever's going on, and it's just nice to be able to share that, be adults, and respect each other's right to think differently than we think. And that's what I'm about here. And I appreciate you guys for that. Like I said, I don't know if Maggie and Lizzo will be going live today. They will explain that later if they want to. Nothing's going on with the channel or nothing like that. There's just Maggie. I think I just threw myself into telling you guys, but no, Maggie's okay. She just she hurt herself yesterday pretty badly. So I don't think she's going to be feeling good today enough to go online. In fact, I'm going to try to talk her out of doing a live today and just resting. So y'all be in prayer for Mags. She took a pretty good fall. So there's that. I will be back tomorrow night around the same time, 1:30 to 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, in the morning, that is. So I hope you guys are on for the ride. Hopefully something's going to come out soon, and we'll know something. If not, we'll keep trudging. We'll just keep digging and digging and digging until there's nothing left to dig. We appreciate you guys so much for being here. Thanks. And you guys have a good night, a good day, wherever you are in this world. I appreciate you, and you're well loved here. Thank you guys for being here. We'll see you next time. Be good or be good at it. Bye, guys.
One man